Do the peaceful music instead of the sad music. I can wait
Peaceful?
until after Darian
Peaceful?
talks. Yeah. The peaceful stuff's always the start and like the end, but I'm gonna jump to the sad track in a second.
Oh no.
Hello everyone, we're back. It's session 67 of Echoes of the Forgotten Homebrew D&D campaign. It's lots of fun. Or at least, I mean, to me and Darian it is. I don't think the rest of the party's having as much fun, but...
I'm having fun.
I don't have a problem. I'm still in the little house, like, you know, getting captured. It's great.
Let me just get a map up for visual background sake.
I'm having fun when you guys have fun, because we're all in this together.
I forgot about the cube that everyone has to vote for.
What are we voting for?
Apparently there's a cube to vote for in the corner of this map.
How long have I been there?
Someone drew it last session.
What?
I was zoomed in. I think it was by me.
That's so cute.
It literally
Oh,
wasn't me.
You only just seen that now?
No, I saw it yesterday. I saw it last time, but I was zoomed
Yeah,
in.
no, that was me. I was doing
I'm
lots of
always,
crosses and
I'm always
everything.
like zoomed in, so I don't see that crap.
Alright.
Yeah, you can erase that if you want, sorry.
No, it's okay.
No,
That's
the keep's
hilarious.
But yeah, sorry, we're just getting everything ready. We have to do a quick refresh. But yeah, I think Darren can go ahead and let us know what happened.
Last time on Echoes, the gatekeepers attempted to recover from the dangerous situation they found themselves in. The rooftop group realized that the roofs are in fact not the safest place to be, and if they wanted to avoid attention, they would get off them. So they descended back to the streets before finding somewhere to hide. An abandoned store near the docks worked for their goals, and it didn't seem like the owner was going to come back anytime soon. Xavier absconded through the streets, avoiding crowds and trying to draw attention to himself. Unfortunately, his path led him directly to a group who was organizing the next round of searches, and his disguise did not last long under scrutiny. After commanding a man to shit himself, he took off running and eventually found himself in cold water, hiding on the underside of a dock while the area teemed with both human and Warforged guards. Underwater didn't look any more welcome, as countless of dormant Warforged sat beneath the waves waiting for their commands. Arkva also descended from the rooftops when he found a chance, and did so only seconds before a new type of Warforged ascended to flush him out. These spider-like Warforged moved with ease amongst the roofs and began their search. Though he attempted to slip away unnoticed and learn anything he could to aid him, he was unfortunately spotted by the new threat. He was summarily surrounded by a large group of guards, both from above and all around him. Choosing not to fight a pointless battle, he accepted his capture for now. Terra, who had seen it all, could do nothing to help Arkva, but attempted to save Xavier. At the same time, Christine and Inazaz slipped out from their hiding place to attempt to help as well. Christine could also not do nothing from the surface, preferring to try and sneak and persuade her way close. Unfortunately, the guards locked the streets down around the area and were actively keeping civilians away. Zaz and Terra dived into the water and swam to help. With the aid of several giant octopuses, they managed to get Xavier away from the now much less dormant tide of sodden metal, and Zaz sent him on his way as a Xavier-shaped cloud before he slunk back. Before he slunk away and back to hiding. Terra added to the distraction and then tried to make a break for it, which sadly did not work. As she attempted to clear a passage with summoned owls, they did not last long under a volley of crossbow bolts. Falling into the water, everything only got worse as the Warforged are now close within range for their own weapons. Terra chose to surrender rather than risk tangling with a still uncountable number of foes. Taken into custody, Arkva was privy to an argument between a guard and an eye before a high-ranking person arrived to check on him. Apparently liking what he saw, he told the guards to be prepared as, quote, Fannel wants to see this one.
Well, the
Something like that.
governor.
That's it, yeah. The governor wants to see this one. Whatever. Spoilers.
It is.
Listen, I just meant to read over this shit because I wasn't there for that scene.
But I told you many times and wrote it in chat.
Listen, I'm coughing. Get over it.
Alright. So yeah, we will jump back to our prisoners. As you have been picked up out of the water, Terra, and you're dragged on land, you are cuffed in your arms, and you're led towards the wall. A little bit after that, I'm just going to remove the token lock because it doesn't matter for these purposes. And yeah, just making sure stream's right and thing. Yeah, as you're moved towards the walls, you see that as you're what seems to be like a tower on the inside you're sort of led to another door next to it that's leading to a ladder or some staircases going up to the wall, where you meet with Akfa, who's also been handcuffed, as a group of a couple people are walking you along the wall. From what you can tell, you're heading south along the wall, as in it's going that circle.
Tara makes it a little difficult moving her because she's like playing hopscotch effectively, jumping on different legs and stuff.
Yeah, they put up with it. They put up with your antics very briefly, as if you start slowing them down, they instead just choose to carry you. And not comfortably, but they're not willing to wait to slow down their movement.
No, totally fair.
As
I
like,
wouldn't want to wait for Tara either.
as the two of you are sort of grouped up on the wall, as you're starting to walk at a very decent pace, but not like a quick one. A couple of the people that were behind you sort of split off and run ahead forwards, something like running. As you're not gagged or anything. The two can talk, but you are walking very somberly across the wall.
Is there anything either of you would like to do while you continue this march south along the wall?
Start humming.
As we're moving, Tara's gonna look over at Akbar and she's gonna be like, "You come here often?"
Not my first time.
Me neither, surprisingly.
What you in for?
Octopus. Lots of octopus.
Ah. I shanked a god.
That's fun.
He had it coming.
Do he look at you funny? I don't like when people look at me funny.
No, he tried to piss on my feet.
What? He deserved it. That seems like fair game to me.
He may have been drunk, but still.
He deserved it. We should stab more guards.
I look to the guard that I assume is nearest to me.
Yeah, there's like a couple ahead and behind a lot of you.
I wish to give him a smile. This conversation was not quiet.
No, I assumed you were thinking out loud for them all to hear. Those around you, they act like you can tell they are listening, but they're trying to the ones ahead are not turning back to look at you. The ones behind you aren't even looking directly at you. It's like they're scanning the walls. The only ones who appear to be paying you exact attention are those who are essentially holding and pulling you along. That would be the ones who are literally carrying Terra, and then the two that are either side of you are pulling you along.
Most of which appear to be most of these guards appear to be warforged, so they're very duty bound. But
Why are you men all so afraid? You've got these things to protect you.
No response. The only two humans who are with you, don't even respond to your comment.
Do these warforged things even speak? Oh wait. No,
Maybe
they do.
if you show them more chest, they'll talk to you.
Ah, well. Curious. No, not curious. I want to meet this person we're going to see.
Who are we going to see? Nobody told me. They just picked me up. They didn't like
Governor,
me much.
apparently.
Who the governor?
And as you continue moving south, you pass through one of the gatehouses that has a road heading into the city, in and out, and in one side, straight across and out the other as you keep heading south. Along this walk are the two guys who went off sprinting before, come running back with a third man, very tired as they come to a stop ahead of you guys.
you are very
Holding.
you're very unceremoniously swiveled and slammed back to the ground. Not causing you pain, but you're very shocked by the motion of immediately being dropped, Terra, as they sort of turn
Dropped on my feet or
Yeah.
on my back or something? Okay.
on your feet. They sort of turn you to face the people running up.
That was a bit rude. Could have done that a bit nicer.
As
Unfortunately, no time for niceties, as one of the dudes runs up, is holding a different pair of manacles, as those who are with you start unshackling the ones on your hands, and this guy prepares to reshackle you with this different pair.
sort of playfully like move her hands a bit, but like not enough to like make people mad. Just to mess around a bit before just hopping.
How close is Tara?
They're keeping at least like about 3 or 4 guards between the two of you.
Okay.
So at this point, like they stop you first and they bring her forward. They specifically want to do something with her and know that it's pretty safe assumption that you will do something if given the opportunity.
Aww.
Like slaps the hands. It's like, you know, the game where you have your hands out and you slap each other's hands. She's like trying to do that to whoever's putting the manacles on her.
Being less of like trying to avoid getting manacled and more of just trying to annoy them, I assume.
Yeah. Tara's just being Tara.
Yeah, exactly. And you do manage to elicit at least one swear from this dude as he attempts to put them on you, smack his hands, before the Warforged grab you by either forearm and hold you still. And then, once they have you thoroughly restrained, they clasp these new manacles on you, and as they seal them around your hands and feet, you feel your connection to the weave severed.
Like your shackles, I want different ones.
Well, unfortunately, for cases such as yours, honey, these are what you get. Now,
We need pink ones. I do go well with pink.
Apparently they only come in one color, and that is multicolored. Goodbye. And he turns, he looks around and starts walking past you all to keep heading north.
You know, we can make them red.
The dude stops for a moment, and then keeps walking. It took him a second to realize exactly what you meant, and when he did, he was he just froze and then just took off. Nah, not gonna respond to that.
Changeling form isn't connected to weave stuff, I believe. So
No, you still stay in your current form, yeah.
I think that's genetic.
yeah.
But after that, there's a brief pause. There's a brief pause as the guards collect themselves. The two dudes who are heavily panting, having sprinted, it looks like the entire way along the wall, sit down, and the rest of you continue your march south.
As you all, as the group of you all walk there, probably maybe 10 to 20 minutes of walking on the wall, you eventually are made to this bottom section where the castle is. As after this pause, you're very much just forced to walk. There are no stops.
Can you guards walk any faster? You're slowing me down.
Eventually, you make it to one of these pillars where a staircase down twirls, and you are forced to walk down there into the ground.
As you descend, you can see you reach this area overlooking the castle that stands above the city on a slight hill, and you descend the stairs into the entry courtyard. As you make your way down, there is a lot of cries and jeering coming from outside the gates, and while they lead you past, they don't stop to let you have a proper look, but you manage to see some sort of, through the gap in the open gates, there is a platform assembled with about, from where you are, you can see at least a dozen people being forced to kneel upon the platform as a man walking back and forward cries out to a ragtag assembled crowd as he goes, "And for the crime of bringing ne'er-do-wells into this city, let alone being of unfortunately ill repute to themselves, these interlopers snuck through with the aid of these foreign pigs. For this, they earn only one crime. For treason, there is but one outcome, and that is death." And there's a series of you hear some half-hearted and some unfortunately less half-hearted cheers as the first man is brought forward, and someone with a very large axe moves over to take the head off him. And from your position, you manage to recognize that these are actually the crew of the wagons that brought you all into the city.
Yeah, that's the case. It
Damn it.
looks like they're having a bad day.
Well, they just need a other one to show up.
Might just think they lost their heads a bit.
God damn it.
As you're moved past, you're quickly moving to what seems to be a side entrance of the castle itself. As you go through, you seem to be walking through a bit of this ground floor, and it looks devoid of like office staff, and it's devoid of any like stuff you'd typically find in a castle. You see very little like maids or officers, people who like work in the castle themselves, and these things. They seem to be full with people that you can't really tell what they're doing here. They're just walking around. You assume that they work there, but they're not. You can't relate their job to what they're looking like. As you're sort of brought downstairs into the jail cells.
From one birdcage to another.
I like birds.
I don't like them caged.
They killed my birds.
Oh.
I actually mentioned they weren't just octopus, I also made them birds.
That explains the shackles.
They don't like my animals.
Well, they can cut me off from the connection if they want, but it won't do much.
After a few minutes, probably maybe like 10, 15, is sort of given time to rest. You hear the echoing footsteps of a single pair of shoes walk across the stone floor as it gets louder approaching you. You see a human man, probably in his mid-30s. Beard is starting to go grey. It's like you see a couple of hairs, but it hasn't actually done much. Seems to be balding a little. Wearing sort of a mix of practical yet like official regalia. As he sort of steps into light of the two of you.
Long time no see.
Do all black people look the same?
No, I just have no idea who this is.
Okay.
I think.
I don't believe we have met, actually.
No, probably not.
But I do know of you. Your wanted posters are scattered throughout the city quite haphazardly. Through many cities, I believe. One, Arkver, or who knows what name you go by now.
No, Arkver's about right. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. I can assure you I'm not here to burn down your churches. Do Warforged pray to a god?
Well, it's pretty easy then. Why don't we get right to the point here? Why are you in my city?
Me? I'm looking for someone.
And who would that be?
My family.
He's adopted.
No, I'm just pulling your leg. We are here for a reason, but it's not that.
I assumed. I was giving you a pause to actually get it out of your system.
Well, I can tell you the reason I'm here, but I can't
And I'm
speak
sure
for
it'll be
everyone.
truthful.
I'm simply here because I want to see less lives lost.
And you, miss?
I'm just here for the ride. This place looked nicer than outside.
I say,
Wasn't
well,
wrong. Your city isn't terrible, actually. It's in pretty good repair.
we do our bit. It's rather ironic for a man who claims he wishes to see less lives lost. And yet, if I remember, several months ago, a group of men passing through another city that used to be of the great Sinaris had their lives come to an unfortunate end by a large white cat man, as well as some friends of yours. I believe there was a blonde-haired woman, a red-headed woman as well. There was a bird and a kobold.
Oh, this could be a few different groups. Would you happen to be referring to a specific location? very specific location.
The specific location being the city of Illowell.
We were there,
I know.
and we were fighting for our own lives.
Really? That's interesting. Because if I remember correctly, you fired first.
Did we?
He just smiles slightly, like the corner of his mouth twitches up a bit. Goes, so I'm assuming there's a more or less vague answer to why you're in my city. I'm
Tell
also
me.
assuming there is next to no chance you're actually going to reveal said reason.
Well, that entirely depends on something I want to ask you.
Ask away.
If, say, you're in charge of these Warforged, do you intend to create peace with them? Through any means that you think are necessary?
Do you truly believe in a land of freedom that there can be any peace? True peace?
I believe there is balance in a lot of things in life. Peace is a necessity, but there will always be a mixture of chaos with it. Not all chaos has to result in death, however.
Very true, and though ironically, not all chaos can be unstructured.
It's surprising how much they help one another, isn't it?
It is.
So, I will expand on what I said before. I am here to try and prevent the lives being lost. By that, I mean if I need to prevent a war breaking out, that was my entire intention to stop it. You're not the only place we've stopped by that I intend to do this. There's another city on the other side of the continent that also needs war prevention. However, I am not currently strong enough for that alone.
And the circumstances of your arrival in the city via a Marieson wagon just is coincidence, then?
Wasn't my choice. You don't exactly make it easy to get in. And
Kind
I
of the
get
point.
the feeling you wouldn't have accepted a pigeon letter to meet.
I'm correct. Your group did receive a letter with an invitation to meet.
Did we?
Yes. But unfortunately, it got lost somewhere in the wastes.
That is a dangerous place, after all.
And you, madam, do you have anything else to add to this? I am assuming, given the situation that went on in my city, that you are an associate of his.
I
There
hitched
is-
a ride. Yeah, they said they were going in here, so I came. I think I paid back by doing what I did, but I'm just gonna live here now. You know, it's cool.
As you're like rambling this very, very clearly in untrue statement, he just nods once and then turns, starts to walk out. He gets to the doorway, and as it opens, he looks over and goes, I've learned all they're worth learning from them. Send them to the mines, and he just walks out.
Shame he doesn't realize how useful we could be.
I don't think he's very smart.
As a group of 4 guards walk in, you see as one of them, like, sort of grabs you, Terra, as you're sort of moved along the path. The other 3, before they even start taking you, Jakova, they just start punching you.
While
How-
you're restrained,
I was gonna say,
They-
how restraining are these shackles?
it's hand and feet shackles. So without them, like at most, you can move about 5 feet.
Oh, that's
And-
good enough.
Is it like chains between the shackles? Or...
Yeah, between the shackles and between your hands and feet. So it
I
is
wish to bite
difficult
one
to
of
do
their hands
basically.
off.
How
Uh,
loose is the chain?
Not
Sure.
loose at all. The
You
whole
want me
point
to
is
roll
like
anything to do that.
Just make a flat strength check with disadvantage.
Oh, I was curious about Dex as it's, more moving quickly to catch a fist and try to rip.
I mean, you said rip a hand off. That seems like more strength.
Fair, fair. Strength?
Yep, strength with disadvantage because yeah,
Can I rage?
Can if you want to.
yeah, if you have any left, you haven't had a chance to rest.
They are punching me, so...
Yeah. Like one of them, like they walk in, one of them basically tries to shove you down to the ground, and then they proceed to like start kicking and punching at you while you're on the ground.
Oh, that shouldn't have been that. Drop the first 9, so it would be 11.
11, yeah. You do manage to catch a mouthful of someone's arm, but unfortunately the armored pauldron that they're wearing scrapes along your teeth, ripping the cloth off their arm, but not actually sinking into any flesh.
And alternative, I take enjoyment in this beating.
You can tell, like, as they're doing it, they're not aiming to, like, kill or in any regard.
Yeah, I said I'm gonna take enjoyment.
Yeah. You're sort of sitting there laughing as they're probably just beating you so that, like, your recovery will be slowed.
Yeah, good luck with that.
As, we will fade away from the group of you as eventually you are moved.
As we are being moved, Tara is gonna ask them what kind of mine this is. Like, are we going to some coal mines?
They don't. Yeah, they don't even answer you. Like they start moving you out of the city. They move you north, and you fade out.
Mm-hmm. Is that the signal?
Yep. At this point, if either of you would like to leave, it is not probably a very high chance that either of you will not have much of interactivity for the rest of the session.
I already told AJ just chuck me a DM. I can jump back in if necessary.
We might jump him back in right at the end.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
just chuck me a DM if need be. Hey, have fun.
Yeah.
I won't.
Good luck, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Meanwhile, in the house, after a few minutes, you're sort of just chilling there, Sylvia, waiting for everyone to return after, like, I think it's a couple minutes.
Yeah, Sylvia's sitting cross-legged on the ground next to the bloodstain, just kind of like her eyes are shut, but she's like listening out for noises and stuff.
Yeah, I think it was.
She, because have you guys like entered yet, or are you just?
I think Inezaz was already
Yeah,
there, and
it's-
Xavier was like coming through the chimney. I was still a little bit away when I heard some information as we ended, but that was really about it.
You hear, like, the door open and close pretty quickly as Inezaz sort of bursts his way in.
like her eyes kind of like open when she hears the noise, like kind of sees like when he opens the door, sees like the Inezaz shape shut, like sort of calms, shuts her eyes again. I'm assuming when I hear like someone falling through the fucking chimney, just assume that it's one of the group. Probably
I'm
open her
fallen.
eyes.
I'm
but,
fogged.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm
like,
the fog.
If he farts his way down the chimney.
he's already there.
Oh, nice.
He's just
Be a real shame
waiting
if
for
I
the
drop
spell to out.
concentration halfway down.
Yeah.
It's not even concentration, it's duration.
He just gets stuck.
You can still just drop it.
It's a
Doesn't
duration,
matter.
it's not a
Funny.
concentration.
Doesn't matter if it's a duration, you can still stop it.
No, it's concentration for gaseous form.
It is?
Yep.
Okay.
As, yeah, like 15 minutes after Inezaz sort of wrecks it, if he's not gonna say anything in the matter, Tara.
Alright, he doesn't. He just steps in, closes the door.
As Tara walks in,
Christine.
Nope.
Christine walks in, my bad.
Yeah.
As 15 minutes later, after that passes.
Yeah, like initially, like if you're keeping like sort of more of a active lookout, it's not really like Christine that comes through. It's more of like a proper tiefling-esque form, similar-ish to Terra, but not particularly because that's what I had last time. But as I get closer, yeah, it's just that sort of slight shift of certain features, especially for the eyes, to show like the same purple hue as like I start to move towards the door.
When you go into different forms, I'm assuming your clothes are much the same. Or
Yeah,
can you change
basically.
the clothing? Yeah,
They are the
I'd
same, yeah.
recognize him from the clothes then.
Yeah. But it's especially like just different, like very different forms and like appearances at first probably catches the attention.
Yep.
Yeah, she like sort of steps in, like closes the door behind her, drops the full altered self, probably still keeps the spell up for as long as possible. Well, we might have a little bit of... Well, one sec. You're here, points to Xavier, you're back in his abs. So I think I overheard, as coming back, that 2 people have been caught. So I think I know who the 2 are now. And looks mainly looks towards Xavier. I'm glad it's at least not you.
The cloud that is still Xavier.
Yeah.
I used my when I came down, I used my action to turn back.
No.
I'm
But I
glad
think
it's not you.
With a bit of a view, drag them off north.
North.
Well, that information is great, but my next question is, what are we even going to do now?
I vote.
Can I
Get him back and fuck this place.
wait for the dust to settle? And I want to try something that I haven't tried. I don't know if this is going to help at all, but I've never used my Whispers of the Dead ability. And can I flavor it in a way that I can touch this bloodstain and gain, like, their knowledge of the city? And, like, maybe get some idea of, like, what it was like right before they died? Because it's a proficiency. Could I do it as, like, a history?
It's
Or do I not get to choose?
yeah, you could pick history, I guess. That will work. You can have
Cool.
history proficiency while you're here.
Awesome. So while she's been sitting here this time, she's like basically like been on a short rest, more or less, because haven't really been doing anything. Could I say that it's like set up like right now, or should I wait a bit?
No, you can say like you've been sitting there waiting,
She's been
meditating in
kinda,
some
like,
way.
it's sort of not really meditating, just like emptying, like focusing on just that weird like otherworldly connection. And yeah, so she's like sitting there with her eyes shut, and then when she opens them again, they're like, I'd say like they're just a different color, like they're not green anymore, they're like, I don't know, like
Hazel.
like hazel, yeah, like they're just like a regular like color. And I will, so what is that, gives me proficiency, I'm pretty sure.
Yep, you would lose 1 proficiency and gain that one instead.
Okay, I will lose a proficiency in...
Well, let me
Yeah,
check, because
no.
the shows you basically, when you do this, you gain a proficiency in 1 skill and it changes to another. I think that's how it works.
Oh, let me
It-
just quickly read it.
But if she's not used it, she wouldn't actually
Yeah,
have
if
a.
she hasn't used it before,
Never
she
used
just
it.
gains. She gains 1, and then she can switch it around.
That's cool. So yeah, I'm just going to gain history. I'll just click that permanently then.
E-
It's only sort of a brief like flash to Hazel, and then like I'll just roll this history, just to like, because this dude like this was a smith's workplace, wasn't it?
A woodworker of some kind.
Woodworker. Okay. So they probably don't have a whole heap of knowledge of like the mines and all that sort of stuff, or like the soul forge, but they might know a bit more about the city and like some of its like more hidden things. I was hoping that I roll. That's not too bad.
So you're trying to locate like
Trying to feel like, 'cause I want to know
Skill
from
things.
someone who's got like, I don't know how long this guy's been dead for, but I'm assuming that it's probably not that long. Like it's probably a few months or whatever when the uprising happened. But like, I want to get a history of like when this was happening, what was going down, like where was the activity happening, where were people like avoiding, what was going on like in the city at that time.
As you're sort of continuing to meditate, as your eyes have changed, you sort of, like, your vision changes to one of a memory that you haven't seen before. As you do, you look around. You're in this perspective. You are as if you were the person, so you don't see your body. But you're looking around and you're hearing noise coming out from inside. Lots of like cheering and whooping and hollering as you're sort of turning around your workshop. You see that you're hurriedly like packing things. There's a large piece of paper with like an eviction notice saying that the Free Union of Sonaris will be removing any non-native Sonarians from this place. There seems to be a banner, and you hear just like sounds of people marching through the streets, knocking on doors and such.
Nothing really I could work with. He was just a woodworker. Probably had no idea what was going on. Well, it was worth a shot. She turns to the rest of the group. Her eyes are like just that normal, like striking green again.
Yeah, I imagine it's like
You're right.
between like as and as like us like we're gonna go there and beat them up and get them back. Like as he says that, I want to sort of reply. I really doubt that going straight through all of that right now is probably the smartest thing in the world.
Probably is actually.
No, I really don't.
By nightfall, this place is going to be crawling with thousands of Warforged. I saw
think-
them in the water. They were walking. All of them.
Do I know about that?
No.
Calmly
Okay,
explain properly, and if you can, and as interject where necessary.
While I was underneath, hiding from the guards, I saw an armada of statues. When I took a closer look, they were all warforged. And when they came, they were faster underwater. He used something, and their eyes all glowed and became awake. And they were walking towards us as we were trying to make an escape. I get the feeling that they're not going to settle. By nightfall, this place will be overrun very quickly.
No, I think I might actually have an opposing opinion. Because
think-
if they're not here on the ground now and they're that quick in the water, like assuming they're there for something for the future. They're not there just for this. They seem to have plenty of things running around already. Like the amount that I've already seen just from trying to capture you.
Did you see what condition they were in?
Pristine.
I still doubt they'll be here swarming
you
the place.
Did you see what condition they were in?
He said pristine.
Oh, pristine. I thought you said Christine.
Sorry.
Pristine condition? No rust? No build-up?
No. It was like any sort of blood left upwards that one would
Well, they
expect
are.
to grow on them, just avoided their bodies.
I think there's probably a purpose for them being underwater. I don't think they're there just in case little criminals fall in off the docks. I think they're there for another reason. I think, just hear me out. We wait until the dust has settled until we go outside. You have already been seen. You'll stick right out. They'll see you straight away. I'm sure they've got every guard in this area flagged for strange tall man wearing dirty armor. I'm sure they've seen you with the armor clean. It is as you can change your form most of the time, which is good. So sure they've seen, hoping they haven't seen your original form, but we need to keep that under wraps. Christine, you can honestly change into whatever you want, but you can slip through the cracks quite easily. The only two people at the moment who are safe walking out this door are you and me. We need to wait, gather our strength, and when we're ready, we go. We're not ready now.
And to go back once more, we really just can't push our way through that.
No, we
I.
cannot.
It's not that I doubt your ability or anything like that, but I do not believe that we will survive that kind of conflict. Though I do agree that we need to act on this as quickly as we can, because even by now they're being taken somewhere, and wherever that may lead up, who knows? They could be taken away, they could be killed, and that is not something I want to see happen.
Don't imagine they'll kill them.
We don't know. Might find use for one, might not find use for the other.
Well,
really
they do
don't
have a
know.
lot of money on their hands. Especially Alpha, right?
These ones are dead. He was one of the ones specifically dead.
A bargain chip, then. Hopefully. And they might not even know who Tara is. In fact, she wasn't even on the list, was she?
No, she was not, which is why I think that she's probably going to be the one to get the... Assuming she keeps the way she is, the lesser of punishments for just being there.
Well, we're not going to be helping them running in and getting captured ourselves. So as much as this isn't ideal, we wait just a little while.
I also have a problem here where I cannot really do much to push my way through these constructs. My proficiencies lie in
The
People.
flesh.
this point, like tip tap, like taps the heads, like usually the brain.
Yeah. Charming constructs doesn't tend to work.
I can at best move them around, maybe, but that's not going to be extremely as helpful.
So we all think of plans. We pull them together with this time that we have, this small amount of rest that we get, and then we try to work on which is the best plan. So it's not going to be easy that we're all not here, but if we act, we can either work towards getting them back or finishing the goal and then getting them back. We could also do some light reconnaissance, you and I, the two that are slightly less likely to get captured in a few hours once everything's calmed down. Try to get some understanding of what's going on. But I wouldn't recommend that you, or you, who looks to like Xavier and Inez, leave this room for now. We also need to figure out how to get Xavier out of here. I have no idea. Invisibility, perhaps, but then we are going to be walking through crowds. That's going to make things hard.
I mean,
Your
Just
armor.
leave now if you want.
no.
No,
What? No. What are you hoping to achieve by doing that? And tell me with full honesty, not with your bolstered illusions.
I turn into gaseous form.
can you turn back into gaseous
Literally.
form?
Yeah. Takes an
That's a bit.
lasts an hour.
How noticeable is this form? It's like it's not like
He's not a cloud. It is still Xavier's shape. It's just it's like faded and permeable, but it's still him.
I like walk up to him and like, can I pass my hand through? Like just
Yeah.
sort of.
Yeah,
Does
you
it,
swipe your
like-
hand through, then after a few seconds he reforms back into his shape.
Very noticeable, isn't it? Like it's like clearly a spell of some sort. Like not.
Well, like it is a cloud in the shape of a large man in armor. Like even the coloring is only slightly faded. It's still the same color armor as it was before.
As convenient as that spell was getting you back here, I'm very lucky. you're just a cloud-shaped savior. People know what to look for. Like, the guards will be looking for you, the Warforged, the constructs. They will all be looking. And if they see something unusual like this, they're not going to just let it go. They'll figure it out. And there'll be someone who can turn you back to normal.
That may be.
We will fix this. We will get you out of here. But we just need to figure out how.
They still
The
have
only thing
access to pass without a trace, which is probably our
That
best
will
method to be
help.
stealthy.
That is definitely. Polymorph for you would be very, very useful.
I don't have that at the moment
I'm afraid we
We
probably
need you
are
to
a
get
bit.
that back.
anymore.
But if
My
we are going,
opinion
if we
is
are going
wait
to move,
until you at least have that.
if we
Sorry.
are going to move around though, like, we're gonna have to do something about your armor, Xavier.
It's about the. It's around the same make as the guards. It's just slightly differently colored. If I could get
I
the hands on one of their sets, I could probably be fine.
I'm not really too worried about the coloring and the design. I'm more worried about trying to take as much benefit of Inazar's spell as possible. And it might mean not wearing heavy armor. We're not
If we-
intending to fight, straight up.
Exactly.
We're intending for recon.
If we fight, we're gone. I mean, you saw that. Clearly, they've got more of these things under the docks. Interesting information. I might try to remember that.
I won't be able to relay any of this to anyone, or even try to contact people until next light.
I will start doffing my serpent scale mail.
Hmm.
The one issue we have is we don't have a proper place for storage. If you can hold on to it all, great, but we might have to leave some of our other things aside, just so we have space to share the weight of all of it, if we're gonna still bring parts of it with us.
We could. We need something that can cover him up as well. You're like a fairly regular height, dude. You're not like crazy tall, are you?
I am 5'6".
Oh, so you're actually quite short for a guy. Roughly.
Short king.
Short king.
But I'm also red skin.
Yeah, this is like I know that. Like clothes, there's probably some clothes that we could get that can cover him up. Like
I still have disguise kit stuff as well. Like we could just mess around, just slab you with stuff.
we could find some clothing that would fit you. I'm sure. Like it's not like you're unnaturally tall or anything. I could pop out later on, find a shop, find some clothing, something hooded, maybe something with a mask or something like that. I don't know. Not really sure what they sell around here. Cover you up in that. And yes, disguise kit. Maybe we've got something that can bring the skin color of your hands back a little bit, maybe even to a more humanish color.
Majority of what I have are dyes, but it still can be repurposed for as makeshift as possible to at least bring attention away.
Or
If
we
we-
could just get gloves.
Yeah. If we're delicate, we can make it work.
I'm sure there's something out there that we can cover you up with, and we can always make the ruse that maybe you have serious skin condition that when the sun touches you, you burn. That sort of sounds a little vampiric, but it exists.
I
Okay.
still think that, despite all of that, a hood probably would be better because these people don't like fey folk.
Yes, we definitely don't want the hobgoblin to show.
I mean the ears mainly. Like the skin,
That's
you
why
can
we're gonna have
probably
to
do the
cloak you.
makeup. Yeah.
if I can find something that completely covers everything, then we're good.
I pull out my raggedy desert grey cloak and just try and wear that over the armor.
Does it look? Does it look kind of like unusual? Like I'm assuming like a deserty cloak probably doesn't suit for like. Samaria is not that close to like the desert.
No, it is in fact quite far away from. Well, yes and no. To the north, only a few days' travel is the Union of Azeroth, which is it is desert-ish, but it is still days' travel away. And wearing this cloak over his armor, it is still like lumpy and misshapen, as it is a cloak designed for a human over, well, heavy armor.
Yeah.
I think you're just gonna have to take the armor off, Xavier. At least when we go outside.
You're gonna have to for a while.
It will make you quieter. Again, if we get captured, that's no fighting. We're better off being caught. Honestly, Terra Akva probably did the right thing. She's just kind of like has that look on her face like, so I really hope they did the right thing.
So, yeah, they did the right thing, I hope.
I believe Akva has a death warrant on him.
We mentioned that before, but again, this place probably not super in cohorts with the eyes at the moment, being that they're kind of doing their own thing. If anything, they might keep him alive as, who knows, a fuck you to the eyes, as a
Oh, I still
prisoner.
I still want to doubt that. If we're dealing with the people who we've dealt with in the past, and if they have any involvement, they may want to do worse to him.
The people you dealt with in the past.
We have had a running with these people before, as mentioned. In
I don't believe
the
anyone's
Empire.
mentioned this to me.
I mentioned it to at least him. Then it points to Xavier. It's like, we have talked about this because you were there. That's probably a reasoning as to why they may want to do worse to him.
What happened?
Let's just say someone tried to attack royalty in the capital, and we kinda were there to stop it, and it may not have been the best, and there were also potentially other times that we might have seen them. There was, of course, when we were initially going to probably go see them, when we got broken out in the desert. Not desert, what was it called again?
The waste
Fiefdom.
in the fiefdom, yeah.
Fiefdom, thank you.
Yeah.
Fiefdom. In the fiefdom.
Actually, I probably might have heard about that one, considering that was like. I'm just going to assume like I probably heard about the little kerfuffle in the
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were
Privy.
definitely informed of that one. The attempted kidnapping of the monarch's daughter.
Yes. Oh
Yeah,
no, I did hear about that one. You're right.
Yeah, we're involved in that, and we have very high suspicions and most likely confirmation that they were involved too. So
There
I
is
wouldn't be.
one other option that we could take.
What do you offer?
Mhm.
Whether it's stupid or not is up to you all.
Sometimes
could also
stupid
get
ideas have
captured.
smarts.
It might be smarter to be together in a disadvantageous position than be apart and not know where anyone is.
You know what? Can I roll? What would I roll? I want to roll something to be like, do I
Sorry.
know that this is something that might work? Like, has this worked in possible, like, situations like this before? Or, like, maybe not the same sort of situation, but like,
Could I roll this
similar.
well?
I honestly don't know what you would roll.
History?
You
As
could roll
a-
history, yeah, tactics. Yeah, it'd probably still be a history check for that.
Will I take off my proficiency because it's not based on the thing I was looking at before?
You can leave it on. It's fine.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, you can
Maybe
both
give
roll
you a
history
guy.
if you'd like.
Oh,
Natural 20. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a.
I'm gonna roll for the sake of rolling.
Fair enough.
You knew a guy.
It's the term, like the pure idea of it, of being together in disadvantageous position isn't horrible. You would know from several times and under espionage-esque ideas, usually getting captured is bad. But there is always the potential of being together could potentially outweigh the risk. But you'd be wagering all of your equipment and your potential freedom and lives on the benefit of being as a group. Whether or not you think that is a good choice to make, I can't tell you. Especially with the limited information you guys have as to where they would be regrouping you in a prison, where in the city, what guards,
straight to the executioner's block.
Yeah, there are a lot of unknowns, but it's not an unheard of tactic in specific situations.
They won't kill on sight, so.
This has worked in the past, but it is a gamble. In my opinion, we travel together. We try to stay out of that situation. And we try to find out where they may have taken them, if they have taken them somewhere. Prison cells, anywhere, maybe. Did any of you see where they started bleeding? You said you saw Tara when she was taken.
I have a quick question, if I may.
No, you go for it.
With the pact that I have with Tara, does that offer me any sort of directional pull or not?
No, unfortunately.
And I'm going to assume they're going to head to it. There is there's a castle of some sort, wasn't there?
Yeah, you guys saw it when you came in, when you flew over before, and even when coming in, it stands over the city slightly, so it is still visible from the rooftops when you're on them.
My guess is that it's at least in that direction for the time being. Who knows where after that? There's a lot of places they could have taken them. I don't think that we should get captured on purpose, but if one of us does get captured, if we stay as a group and it does happen, then it happens. But I wouldn't try to, because we are gambling everything, our lives, our equipment at that, on a maybe.
I don't like that at all. I'm going to refuse that outright. I am not going to put so much of that on the line.
It is a massive risk.
I say,
again,
if you're saying the best thing to do is wait for dust to settle anyway, I still suggest we do our best to get as much recon with us as possible and make a decision from there. But the way I'm suggesting it might require me and you specifically to do our own thing, and for those two to use the advantages of stealthing more so than walking through people.
I think for now, for the rest of this day at least, in a few hours maybe you and I head out, try to find something that'll fit Xavier that's not heavy armor. Maybe I'll do my thing, listen to the people speaking, see if I can pick up any interesting information. I'm sure if there was an execution, and I'm not sure that it's not happening, but I'm pretty sure that it would be something they wouldn't do straight away. It will be spoken of. So if we go out there and listen to the people, we can hear things. Hopefully.
Were there many dogs running around?
I mean, it's a city. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to spend 10 minutes and I'm going to cast Find the Steed. And Slayer will take the form of a mastiff.
Alright.
2 eyes.
I think
Not one.
that we listen, find information. Alright.
So you're saying, Tez?
I say we just listen to the people, see if we can find any interesting information that we can use to our advantage, and buy this one some clothes.
I can focus on buying the stuff. I can take rough guesses. I think you're the one better for taking in conversation of others. That's usually
Two is
something I
better than
do
one.
not. I know. I'm just saying, deviate nearby, but I focus more
Stick
on getting
together.
the stuff. We can stick together, but deviate nearby. You focus on what you're good at, and I focus on talking to people.
Okay. We'll work with that for now. See what happens after. So, I'm assuming, oh, here you go.
Do I have anything that is of Arkva? Or that Arkva has touched?
I mean, I don't know. You look at your items. Do you have things that Arkva has touched?
Well, he did give me the cloak.
I do. I actually do.
You do?
Yeah, but I'll let you finish what you're doing first, because I don't know what you're doing.
Do you have something that the Arkva has touched recently?
In how long of a duration?
About a day?
Probably
Probably
not
have
a day.
hair on my clothes somewhere.
Or maybe 2 days, doesn't matter, just needs a scent.
Ah,
I brush my clothing down to see if I can find a wet hair. I'm gonna have shared a bed with the cat a couple of times. Found to be something somewhere.
I mean, this is more than the couple of days. This is very much past that point. But so it reaches the back of like her head, takes out the hairpin that's stuck there. Hair flows down a bit more.
I offer up to Slayer to take a sniff.
This was made by him, or at least he had a whole hand in making it, and who knows how long he held onto this gem.
Can you pick up the scent?
You're probably gonna get mine, but it's the best I've got.
Yeah, Sclera, sniffs. I will note that everything you got is, like, all your fun stats, they're mainly one eye. They won't have, like, a center eye, it's not in the center, it's just one eye would always be, like, blinded or scarred.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
a
like if there's
Meiji
mastiff-
stray. No, what? Everyone's seen a Meiji stray before.
Yeah, it's still a dog, it's just got one
Yeah.
eye.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't have a weird cyclops eye.
No.
No.
He sniffs it, just sort of gains it, can they speak? I don't remember, probably not, right?
They can telepathically speak to me.
He's just like, I can smell the ocean.
Nice.
Try and find the cat man. If you can't, meet back in about 2 hours.
So you're just sending him out to go look around.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
He has a telepathic range of 1 mile. I'm not sure how big this city is.
More than a mile.
Okay.
But it can give it 2 hours. He'll go. Like
Yeah.
you open the back door. He slinks out into the alleyways and disappears into back alleys and back streets, going off and doing a search of his own.
Give back the hairpin.
Put my hair back up.
I feel like, for the time being, like, Christine and I were gonna wait a couple of hours as well before we headed out. So, I guess by the time, like, before this guy, like, Sclera will be back before we even head out.
You sure you don't want me to go now while I can still change my form?
Oh, right, because you...
I mean, like, I can still do it no matter what. Like, I've got resources to spend. But it's more so, like, I can spend this time just to get the clothes at the very
Still,
minimum.
it's just the thing is they're still looking for people at the moment. So the streets are going to be hectic, and if for whatever reason, catch on, you know, it'd be better off to wait until they're like, you know, combed the area.
Okay.
So you're
That's
waiting.
just my opinion.
So the plan is to wait a couple hours.
A hour, at least.
8 hours.
Very short rest
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yes, we're short rested.
Yeah.
Now let me remove those
Sorry.
other two from the combat tracker.
Fuck.
They're not players anymore. You're set pieces.
Do you reckon? We could maybe
You mean
take
slaves.
we can maybe take a bio break.
Yeah,
It's okay.
if wants to, we can take an early bio break.
We need to try and move this child to the actual bed
Long rest,
and not
long rest,
the-
long rest.
our bed.
Right, Gabby.
Alright, well, I have my wild shapes back, so that's
Which is
nice.
a good thing, yeah.
Low-key kind of sucks that my eerie tokens are long rest, but I mean, I get it.
I get it.
I had access to magic to wild shape. I'm going for the mines.
They're going to the mine. They're gonna go dig some stuff for us. You're gonna-
Which Snow White gnome is Terra?
The
Fun
one that
little
becomes a
secrets.
warforge, probably. I don't know.
I think I changed into a wolf.
Into
Oh.
a warforged-like creature, I guess.
It's this weird
Flesh
fleshy
pulp
wolf.
struck?
It's just like, yeah, it's just a construct. It just looks like a warforged, but it's all bone and flesh
Ugh.
underneath.
I can only imagine the sound that transformation would make. Just popping of joints and sockets.
It's my Gundam form, guys.
Yeah, this went to shit real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, I have an owl,
You
if
tried
that
to
helps.
stay in the car.
The house could help.
The owl could help.
Or it's a good.
Is it like midday? Was that the time
Yeah.
of day it was?
But after this hour, it'd be like lunchtime.
Man. Good thing there are non-nocturnal owls, am I right?
What type of owl is it? Whatever one sleeps at night. Dumbass. That owl.
A northern hawk owl.
What?
Yep.
I'm back.
That's a daytime owl.
Day owl.
Sure.
Oh.
It's not master of the night owl.
There's two of them.
Oh.
Also the northern pygmy owl.
Oh yeah, chat. I will be putting up the egg look thing for you guys in a week. Probably not this week, but the one after, so you guys can start submitting stuff for the egg look in Discord. I might throw it on Twitter as well.
Can't wait to see that.
Other
It's gonna be
places.
so funny.
I have had some fun shenanigans.
I assume you've seen what they all are already.
Yeah,
you've
I've
got implemented.
I've been making a couple of them. I'm hoping to forget by the time I play. But I mean, I've gotten a really fun thing from them, and Jeremy hit me with just he just wants me to have a guy. Like he gave me a species and an ability, and then the rest is like he just gave me a guy. to
Yep.
have.
Yep, I just gave you a guy. Because
Gave you a guy.
one is my favorite Pokemon. And then the other one is so stupid.
Yeah,
But
I
it
think
works.
I'm gonna do something stupid, something that I personally enjoy, and something that's a meme.
I have
gave
a
something
very meme
really
idea.
good for like a support.
Yeah.
I gave an unconventional DPS, and then I just gave a great Pokemon but with garbage.
See, I have an idea for a very mediocre Pokemon who is guaranteed to only live for one single move.
Explosion.
What a surprise! Darian chose something that's just really
Yeah,
tempting.
he gave
I gave him-
self-destruct and damp.
If you want to know, my idea is a Shed Ninja with the Shadow tag so it can't switch out. And its only moves are Self-Destruct, Explosion, Luna Dance, and Final... I think it's like Final something? Like Final Gambit?
Very fun.
all 4 moves kill yourself to do something else.
Well, things
that's
with
true.
things with Shadow Tag can switch out. It's just things against Shadow Tag can switch out.
I thought Shadow Tag locked both.
No, like if you wanted to lock it in, it'd be funny to give it like magnet pull, which means if it comes across a steel type, it can't do anything, and then the explosion will do jack shit. But I mean, a suicide ninja mask is also just a good thing to have.
It's
You
just
need
it's
an out. There he goes.
Exactly. It's not useless. Like, in a way, some of the moves could prove useful. It's just guaranteed to be a one and done user.
I gave him a Garchomp with Lick, and then just 3 damage down abilities. It's got Baby
Nice.
Goliath.
I need to have a look at this. I need to see
Lily's-
what
I want your Shed Ninja against the Shed Ninja I gave AJ, because I also
sorry.
gave one. But I
Awesome.
gave it,
Sturdy.
I gave it the ability Sturdy, yeah. So
Okay, so it can
Yeah,
survive.
he's immortal unless it's like Will-O-Wisp or
Poison.
Poison or something
Everyone.
like that.
Or a move that hits more than
Everyone's
once.
skills
Uh-huh.
Shed Ninja.
Lily,
No, I'm gonna get him a Pokemon, which is a set of keys.
yeah, she's
I
doing,
was
Ninja.
thinking about keys.
she's doing Kingdom Hearts but Clef Key.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it Kingdom Heart.
Lily gave me a Pokemon, not realizing that she could like change the moveset and ability, so she just gave me like
A
a
normal
useful
Pokemon.
Paris, and I'm like, you can. It's like, oh, I might give it a rework. And I'm like, yeah, go ahead, you can do whatever you want. It's just like I was looking at
So
the
what
move
game
set.
do
I'm
you-
like, interesting.
What game are you playing for this? Which Pokemon game?
X and Y, so Gen 6.
Ooh.
I made a DPS Minim. I love Minims. Minim deserves love.
I love the plus
That's
of a
all I
minute.
Yo, if
Plus
they
little
made
minimum.
Mega Minim, cool.
Mega Minute.
Oh, I would love that.
I love
Yes,
both the
Nick,
little
right?
guys.
That one's here, right?
Congratulations were cool. I think so.
And they're
I'll do
coming,
that.
they're coming back and say, yeah, I hope. I hope.
Sorry.
Oh.
What do they do?
Terrestrial's the only Terrestrial's good for competitive, and the rest are dumb except Mega Evolution. The Z moves can go to hell. The fact you have to do a goofy ass animation. So I need to switch this. All right.
Just be goofy.
After your break,
Yeah.
about an hour, you are at lunchtime. It's lunchtime now.
Oh, time to eat.
From peering down the path to the port, you see that at this point many of the guards and the Warforged have left the area. And the area in front of you looks clear for now. We don't need all these pointers, we don't need them.
The important notifications of where people are and things were. No.
So yeah, what are you guys doing?
Okay, so we were going to go out and
Look
like
you.
look
Bye.
around
Yeah,
after
like,
yeah, okay.
You wanted us to wait?
Yeah.
I think it's very good to wait at least until we can get something to cover Xavier on the off chance that even with the spell's assistance we're still seen. Hopefully our goal is with the spell's assistance to be as inconspicuous while still keeping a bit to the side, just mostly having people's attention drawn away from us.
Mm.
Hopefully.
So when we
With that-
finally do, like, sorry, you go.
That would require, again, no armored, so I recommend taking some of that off. I know you have. The other one hasn't said so yet.
I don't know how well it fits into a bag, but I tend to.
We can separate between the 4 bags and leave some other random junk here.
Yeah. I assume because it's scale mail, it's
Easier.
lightly collapsible.
Yeah.
Like you can, yeah, you can't exactly like roll it up or like fold it, but like, well, you can't fold it, but you can semi-roll it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to pack it away in your bag, then yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, cool beans. Nice and easy.
I'm not sure how to pack a splint.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why we're gonna separate
Oh.
that.
It's not.
I mean-
it's not half plate or full plate.
It's still packable. The difference is that you have, unfortunately, pieces like a full helm that comes with it.
And that can just
Yeah.
go to someone else's bag.
I don't have a whole heap in my bag, honestly, but I also don't have a whole heap of carry encumbrance because of my low strength.
We're not carrying.
And I've got the high strength.
Encumbrance. Ugh. That's why you hold majority of the armor and the remainder.
Surely there's
little
like
bit.
a stack in here we could just put it in and.
Oh,
attach
absolutely, we
back.
could.
You can absolutely leave things here if you wanted, yeah.
You can find sacks, and, like there are empty barrels or barrels that can be emptied. It's just if you wanted to like pack away your equipment, you could. We'll allow you. Like splint is literally leather with like metal strippings. Like there is some flexibility in it. So yeah, eventually, after all, doffing and packing armor in a way for transport, you are able to move.
I've gone down to an AC of 9.
Oh, what?
I know, but we're gonna have to deal with it.
You're a
Yeah, I
strength
got negative
character. You
1.
don't spec it at dex.
Yeah, I don't spec it to Dex. I am more likely to be hit now.
Well, mine's 12, so I'm a little bit better.
We're not planning to fight.
I'm not a strength character. I'm a dex character, and I have an AC of 19, and I don't even have armor, and no one
Must
can hit
be
me
nice.
any fast.
How do you have armor? Oh, yeah, right. Duh.
Monk. So originally, it's just going to be me and Christine heading out to shop
Get-
and listen for stuff.
My
So-
main goal is to spend the time just getting rough, like clothes that could fit Xavier and even Inazaz. Just the basic stuff.
Yep.
Maybe even a
So,
spare
like-
set for myself, just to be a bit less inconspicuous in certain areas.
So when we go to leave, like, I think some of the like more fancy stuff that Sylvie's wearing, like, because she's got like her little capelet thing. She's got her like, they're like feathered pauldron little like shoulder pad things that she takes some of that off. She kind of just goes like, I don't know if I have actually. No, that's fine. She takes some of the more like conspicuous stuff off. And when we go to leave, I want to stealth to get out of this place, so that like, you know, we're not walking in and out like super noticeably of this like random abandoned warehouse. I want to like make sure there's no one like walking by, so we can like duck out kind of quickly and carefully.
You guys can easily, if you want to like sneak out and be like extra careful, you can make stealth checks to like make sure you slip away unseen. Like there is the rear alleyway entrance where you guys came in, and then there's obviously the front door which leads directly out onto the docks.
Yep.
I will
Take the
be
rear
using the
alleyway.
rear entrance.
You want me to
Uh,
start pass without a trace now?
You can if you
Start
want.
it when we come back. That way we have the full timer. I will probably also do something similar, like, just, take off noticeable stuff. I will probably still. I think what I'll do is that sort of thing where it's like you take a necklace, but you sort of kind of wrap it like around your like arm or glove, and like you're just holding it. I'm just gonna more so hold my my necklace like within the hand, and then the pendant can go into the bag, and same with the ring as well that I have, both dust blue and fiend. Just so that the least amount of conspicuous-esque.
Yeah, you're all dressing down on the obviously spottable items.
Yeah, and then I'll use a second level spell slot to cast Alter Self, and this time, you know, let's go basic. Let's go. How? Sorry, I didn't actually think this through. I am going to go human, but with a bit more of a tender skin, like been more near the sun. No horns, no tail. Bit myself. Hair will probably maybe got a bit longer, honestly, than what it kind of is now, and I'll probably end up like putting it up into a ponytail instead. and we'll change its color to brown, kind of a lighter brown.
It's disguising yourself. Yep.
Yep. That will be
Um,
my alter self, and that lasts for an hour. And
Cool.
yes, we'll head out. I'll head out as well. I probably, yeah, I will definitely stealth my way out, but I'm probably not being as like stealth, more so just like moving around the back.
Yeah,
So you're
as
not
soon
gonna-
as
okay,
we're
make a roll.
out,
I will make a roll, but like it's just more passive, if anything.
yeah, as soon as we're out of this area, like we've made like steps away from the warehouse, I don't want to like sort of be like super sneaky, like trying to avoid like. I just want to look like, honestly, like Sylvie's just gonna have an air of calm about her as she walks the streets, just like a regular person, just walking like she's going somewhere.
Same thing, really. Like trying to use my air of, well, for lack of a better term, charisma as I can.
And Xavier and Inazaz, are you two also leaving?
No.
Yeah, the plan was for us to wait and they'll do a bit of scouting.
Just
Right?
making sure.
Yeah, but that was
Yeah.
the plan.
I sure hope that they do.
Yeah,
Just
that's
because
their
you
plan,
make
but
it,
what's
like-
your plan?
Just because you make a plan doesn't mean I'm going to double check that you actually plan on following it.
I mean,
Cry.
you're not wrong,
No, he's got a point.
is the thing.
Don't feed the lizard. Please don't
Alright.
feed the lizard.
In which case, with
Speaking of
Inazaz and Xavier hanging out here.
Yeah, and I'll
I'm
have
staying.
Al just watching over them too.
Okay, so you're having
Yes.
your familiar follow them.
Yeah, I'll have my familiar follow him and just. Al, what's the distance for me to check in with it? I don't have 5 minutes. Let me Google.
It's what? It's 1,000. It's a big number. I'm familiar.
100 feet.
Close enough.
Isn't that for the casting a spell? I thought it was.
When it's at 100
No.
feet of you, you
Oh,
can
no.
communicate it with it
Yes.
telepathically. You can also see through its eyes and ears, etc., etc.
But it could also just
Okay.
be like commanded to just follow them and come back if
Yeah,
something
they'll
happens.
follow them. If something happens, come back in with it. When you're within 100 feet, give me a heads up.
Good idea. Okay, so the two of you are leaving with being flanked by a bird.
Yeah.
Are you two sticking together or are you splitting up?
I'm gonna stay like closest to Christine. Like I'd say, unless she's making an effort of like trying to keep separate, like Sylvie
No.
will walk with her, but just
I'll
like
say we'll go together.
yeah, just like they're two people that are heading to, you know, like they're on an errand for something or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll
Slow
just
it
make a
down.
note that from the minute that she's out that door, I want to roll perception for listening into people's conversations. Just anything interesting that I can gather. Like
No problem.
the whole time we're out, I don't care if I have to roll multiple times.
Yeah, we'll do like sections for it, but for now, make your first roll just for. Like if you ever hear anything interesting, we'll let you know. Natural 20 again.
Too bad it means nothing.
Woo! No.
Are you for real?
Wait,
doesn't-
you'll
it's-
find
checks
out
don't
in a
matter.
bit. Oh, yeah, true. You can't crit skill checks.
Yeah,
Well, you get a 30.
I mean,
it's a
that's
30.
very-
Yeah, 30 means
30 is still
something.
not.
30 means something. It's just not crits don't matter.
Yeah, the 20 means something. The 30 though. Hell damn.
Out there.
Question,
Demi.
if there is a
Can you roll me a D100 and a survival check for thing into the tower?
Okay, got it.
I also just want to add, like, just to kind of like keep up in appearance. It's almost like light conversation that I'm just trying to put in between, keeping up like more of a we're busy conversating, do not approach us kind of like to anyone else. Like we're talking about like what we're gonna do, this and that, like we could find this, find something nice, but like this person just rolling off the tongue of just kind of almost a bit more natural as like time goes on, just like that bullshittery conversation.
Yeah, but like the two of you lost in thought with each other.
So we plays the facade really well because she's done this many times before. This is nearly all like most of the time that she's done this for like. There's been times where she's been stationed in areas for years, just spying on people, listening to conversations, but blending in, talking to people, you know, getting to know them and whatever. So she is good at listening to everything around her whilst also acting like she's not listening to everything around her.
Can
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Can Slayer roll perception? Because they are using the big sniffer to sniff.
Survival is to find traces and tracks of Akfa. So this is just to see if they can find their trail.
Ah, okay, just pick it up. Okay.
Pretty much it.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, like, for Christine, like, I think at first it takes her that little step to kind of get into the flow of it again, but like, it's almost not entirely unnatural, but like a bit weird how like quickly she picks it up. Almost like it's just innate, like in that aspect. Like it starts off a bit slow, but once a rhythm gets going, she gets into that rhythm and very well. But yeah, it's just. I imagine she's mostly just assisting whatever you might need for check-wise.
Well,
Not
you
perception,
guys-
but whatever else you need.
you go, Tez.
I was just going to say, are you paying a lot of attention in the conversation, or is it just you're just kind of doing it, not really thinking about
She's trying
it?
to act. Like she's trying to pay attention to act like she is. She's mostly going to
So
use
she's not really
her.
paying attention to Sylvie's like mannerisms.
A little bit here and there, I imagine, but like it's mostly mechanically. I'm just going to use my action to help you in any check that I can.
Alright then, cool.
Well, yeah, as you guys move, you know, moving through the city streets, there are people out on the roads. Again, after the hour that has passed, it seems like a lot of the commotion has died down. You do see guards quite commonly around, but it looks like they're not like grid searching the city. They're still watching, you know, keeping an eye on things, but they're not like directly like stopping people and peering into their face, stuff like that.
Yeah.
As you move around, eventually you come across a decent crowd of people that's gathered in one of these like little. They're almost like little plazas, like these open areas between buildings, where there's something there that's clearly drawing everyone's attention. And it's pretty quick to see that it is a notice board. With the crier call you heard last session, Christine, they did mention putting up notices of the fugitives that have escaped into the city and known or assumed associates.
I'll listen into that.
Yeah, well, this is like people going out looking. You can hear through voices people like, "Oh, I wonder what they look like. Oh, do you think it's actually real? Do you think fugitives have actually gotten in, or is this just more like gobbledygook, is of fear mongering, blah blah blah?" Like, it's a lot of conversation. People who like moving up to try and like look at this notice board, and groups like moving in, moving away. Other groups moving in to look at it, moving away, and then just the crowd is mainly discussing them in small groups as to how much they believe the situation.
I want to say that Christine kind of like mimics that sentiment as like they go past. Like the conversation then turns to like this kind of like speculation on what these kind of people could be, like, and then maybe even like slightly peering like off to like just have that look of like wanting to confirm to Sylvie.
And do either of you try to make an effort to look at the actual board as well, or
I would. I would like turn towards it like naturally.
Like, as like an acting thing to like stop on the board and be like, oh my, oh we better get this task done quickly so we can head back. If they're dangerous people in the city, then I don't feel like I really want to be out on the streets right now.
So
That might have been what we heard earlier. I'm not quite sure. It should be fine. Like they're pretty well on top of everything around here.
the notices you guys see as well. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You keep your thing going first.
I'll just say that, like, let's just make this quick and get home then.
Yep.
The notices you see up on the board, it is the usual wanted posters for Akfa, Xavier. It's the full group of you from the fiefdom.
Oh, that's me!
There are a couple extra posters up. You see one of a black kobold, black scale kobold. There's one of an Arakokoro woman, or Kenku woman it's listed as. And you can tell these are a mix of your associates back from the first, when you guys were passing through Illowell, and those from the fiefdom. It's basically trying to cover
all the
more
bases.
people. Yeah.
as you're sort of peering and having a look, you see that there are two men in plate mail, like next to you, looking at the board. And one of them is just like, I just don't understand why they wouldn't let us take him.
Listen, we've been over this. It's not our... Well, it's meant to be our job, but it's not our job right now.
I mean, whenever there is criminals, they just go missing.
You guys look, you can clearly see as one of the guys grabs the other one by the arm and starts pulling him away.
I want to gasp, like, as I hear that. It's like, wait, they're not captured yet?
As, like, these two don't even seem to turn to react. Like, the one who mentioned that looks over his shoulder briefly at you, but the other guy pulls him away. As you, with your 30, Sylvie, they don't even manage to break line of sight as the two of them get, like, one dude pulls the other one to an alley, and you clearly see the tabard of the eyes of Tabris on both people.
Oh. Yep. So they're like they're pulling away, like sort of pulls Christine away as like a don't speak to them. This is like a kind of like a sort of a worried like let's just get out of here and like let's get home sort of thing. But as they get away, and she notices that thing she was like, they weren't guards. Just like lightly under her breath, like that only Christine could hear.
You see them move like into an alleyway, and they're clearly still talking. But like, if you wanted, you can move up and keep eavesdropping.
Is there any shops nearby?
Yeah, like you're in this plaza area. There's a few like areas around.
I noticed that, give a nod, and like I point to like a shop nearby, like as trying to lead you on to like certain things, like we're here to do this thing, but like what's over here kind of thing. Like
you do that. I'm just gonna have a quick rest against this wall here. I'm feeling a little lightheaded. And she sort of like looks at you with that look of like, I'm just gonna lean here and listen a bit. It's just in a inconspicuous spot.
Yeah. Please call out if you do need me.
Will do.
I won't be too long. I promise this time I won't be too long.
Sure.
She like puts her hands together. It's like that kind of thing. I promise. And then it goes off.
As you walk away, Christine, Sylvie, you keep eavesdropping on them. You focus your attention on these two as you hear like the one who pulled them away goes, "Listen, we've been over this before. You've got to stop asking. It's just going to get you in trouble."
But he's killed us. Like, he's been doing this for over a couple of years now, and we had him. And what? Just because the governor wants him, we don't get to deal with him ourselves?
At the moment, yeah, those are our orders. The governor wants the prisoners, the governor gets the prisoners. I know you don't like it, I don't like it either. It's kind of not the thing we're doing, but that's the orders from above.
Fine. Alright. Sort of
Listen,
Go on.
get it. You don't like how it's going. This isn't how things are meant to be going. But, like I said, if you keep asking questions, you're just going to get yourself into more trouble.
Fine. What are we supposed to do now?
Well, orders are at the moment, since the guards won't give us what they've caught, we have to look for the others. If we can get them first, then maybe we can do something with them ourselves.
Okay. Alright, yeah. Sure.
So, get yourself together. When you're ready, meet me out front. And you hear stomping off as the man in full plate, clearly not trying to be quiet, marches down that alley further away from you.
The other one sort of just paces around this back lot for a couple minutes. Obviously, you can tell that he's conflicted about the entire situation.
And then after a few minutes, Paul, you hear him like righting his armor, and he then heads off in the same direction of his companion.
I stay there. I just keep listening in for random idle conversation assuming that I've currently gotten the most I'll be able to get from this trip out, and just wait for Christine. And just keep acting like, I'm just resting against the wall because I'm lightheaded.
I'll go ahead and do like the basic shopping that I mentioned, just like little bits of clothes here and there. Like, I'm not looking specifically like for, what could hide a sketchy person? Like, I'm just trying to this may look nice. Like, just grab something that I think would be the right sizes for them.
We have an elderly man who gets cold at night. He needs, gloves
and all in all, while doing that, I do want to like kind of like idle conversation-esque, like of like have like you heard like particularly about what exactly is going on. Like I heard there's commotion, but I didn't see anything. Like trying to more so talk my way to information than anything else.
Yeah, make a just a charisma check, just flat charisma.
Black charisma?
Yep.
Sure.
This is a combination of like
everything.
It's basically a mix of persuasion, deception, and performance.
I'm efficient in one of them.
You hear a variety of different stories. Talking to shopkeepers, all of them, while you're looking at their wares, are willing to entertain you with different stories of what they think happened.
Yep.
Which is a variety of a band of armed thugs attacked the gate and forced their way into the city, to a group of like secret Amarician special agents have snuck into the city and they assassinated one of the like members of the council or something.
Nice.
One saying there's a bunch of bugs that lay like dog-sized eggs into people, and they sprout out and attack people in the middle of the street.
And that one's not right.
What the fuck?
Yo, can that be real? Can I have that?
I mean, do you want to do that?
But like you hear a variety of different things. People, it's a combination of there are tiny bits of truth in amongst situation, but it's a lot of people embellishing on stories and embellishing on the embellishments, and
Except for that guy over there, he's completely wrong.
But as you move from like conversation to conversation, the stories only get more wild.
Yeah, great.
As you purchase everything, it'll probably be about 25 gold.
That's fine.
Which you can tell is everything's been a bit
A lot.
uppriced.
A lot.
A typical 3 gold cloak is almost double.
Yep.
No surprise there.
She's going to like act like this is normal because I've been around. I've been here. This is normal. But I don't
Also,
like
no one even questions like the purchase of clothing.
Yeah.
It is literally winter. People are like, yeah, you're buying more clothes. It's fucking cold.
Yeah, bundle up. That little bit extra.
Yeah.
Done.
All right. You both reconvene in this in the alleyway or wherever nearby the alleyway that Sylvie was.
Yeah,
Where are you guys going from here?
Come up with like a bundle of clothes just like in my hands. Like, I think I got what I need. Hopefully this is enough for them.
Ah, good. Let's get back.
As you're
Rightful nod.
as you all leave like this area, one of the last buildings in this square seemingly has like a note nailed into the door.
I think that would
Give
be
it a brief glance.
Yeah, I'll give it a glance.
It's just like it says the name of the shop, which is just like Everand's magical outlet is currently out of business as items have been taken for the guards to use at this current time. We will open once everything is returned.
The exact wording is like, it's been donated, in quotes, to the betterment of for the freedom of Amaricium, freedom of Sonaris movement, or yada yada.
Yeah. I look at the notice. Actually, like, before you turned up, probably have a look, and then like maybe look. Is this like a store with like a window to look into, like see what its wares might have been?
Yeah, there is a large window at the front where it's meant to show off inside.
Yeah.
And the interior is bare. Like there is a counter,
Okay.
and there are clearly stands where armor would have been sat, weapons and racks, and there's scroll cases, and everything is empty.
Okay. Anyone inside or no?
No.
No. Okay.
At least not from looking in through the front window.
I'm going to have a quick check to see if like the door is locked. It's like a customer like trying to like see if the place is open because I don't see like a. It may not be locked. I may try and say hi to the person inside.
Yeah,
Kind of
it is. The door is locked when you try to open
Okay,
it.
cool. Then I don't follow anymore.
Yeah, like it does clearly say that it's closed for business until further notice.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if like someone was there. Like again, like that kind of thing where if I'm realizing it's locked, she like waits like kind of like looking in, like see if she could see someone, like pretending to try to look for someone, and then just probably I imagine like Sylvie just calls her along, like as you'd call someone, like come on, we gotta go, like, and then
It's just like
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that the magic shop doesn't have any magic items at the moment. Not that we have any use of them anyway.
it was just someone recommended me the place, maybe for the person behind the. Okay, sure. And yeah, move along. Head back.
You're heading straight back.
Yep.
Straight
Do
back.
I hear anything more interesting on the way back? Because I'm still listening for stuff.
Yep, you still got your ears open, listening out, but there is no other information that really catches your attention. There's still more of these tales going on. You overhear guards like discussing what they think happened and where they think the people could have slipped off to, but it's all just like embellishments and hearsay.
I guess when we because she keeps pretty tight-lipped until we get back to the room.
Like, the only other thing I've noticed, you probably notice, is you do pass by like a tavern at one point on your walk, and from before you were too far away to see, but you do see that every single patron of this tavern is wearing the same uniform.
Oh,
Like the place is full, like even though it's still like early in the day, and this is basically like middle of the
What
like
the
this
fuck?
is not this is like a middle of a work day essentially, but the place is completely full and everyone is wearing like the same type of clothing.
what kind of clothing?
Like laborer style, like tradesman. You know, make a history check right now.
Cool. That's
That
actually
works.
pretty good. I can like sink into the information that I have in my head.
And then there's
Yeah.
no way I can help this.
Flashback.
I assume.
Yeah, as you know, there's no way you can help. As
Yeah.
you think about like you're trying to identify what type of outfit these people are wearing, you get a brief flash as you see from your perspective talking to some man wearing similar clothes. As he's like, "Listen, Greg, I'm telling you, you've got to get out. It's only getting worse here. They've kicked us all out of the mines. It's just, I don't know what they're doing. They've given us some money. I'm leaving with my family before things get worse." And then a vision ends.
When she has this vision and like the flash happens, she kind of acts as though she's having like a painful, like a migraine sort of thing happen, where she like kind of gasps and like holds her head a little bit.
I think this is like a moment of like slight genuine worry. Like is like more like a is something happening like right now kind of thing. Like she'll like make sure like your arms like over her shoulder and like kind of move you to the side, like just go against the wall to like rest. And yeah, just worry.
If you are looking closely, you probably see the flash of like hazel eyes, and then flicker back to the green. She has her eyes kind of down a little bit, but if you're right next to her, you probably see
Okay.
nothing. Just a headache. Worked too hard. Let's get back.
Please don't push yourself anymore. If you need me to carry like anything else, I can.
That's fine.
Okay. Just a little bit more, and we'll be back.
As you continue your way back towards the place, moving through the streets, the crowds do get a bit thinner as you move towards the docks. Given most buildings there are shut, you can tell why. And
Yeah.
in as you do get a ping from your owl when you get when they're within 100 feet.
Should we roll another?
Thing is, everything is all good.
Yep, there's like the owls flying around. It's been keeping an eye on them. It just lets you know that so far as you can tell, they aren't being followed.
Cool.
Should we roll a stealth to get back into the building again? Just
Yeah, if you want to.
Probably.
yeah.
Yeah, just like take that little dip to the alley, and then
Pretty bad roll, but still 10's a 10.
7's a 7. So
Yeah, the
9
two
or
of-
7.
Good one.
Until you slip as stealthily as you can back into the alleyway and make your way towards the building. It doesn't take you long to obviously get to the door you've already unlocked and let yourselves back inside.
She locks it from the inside again. Just takes her a moment, I imagine. like just kind of like does that instantly before even telling anyone like any of the information she's.
Yeah. Basically, as soon as
people are
we,
like standing there, just being like, "So."
yeah, as soon as we walk in, like the sort of tone shifts back to normal Christine. She like holds the clothes, like flips it out in front. It's like, this is probably the best I think I could get. Just bundle up. This was not cheap. I hope this helps.
Thank you very much.
She turns back around. So the eyes are in the city, and
That's
it looks
always
like our friends have been captured by the guards. The eyes seem to be a little bit pissed off about the fact that the governor wanted them, specifically.
Which
Now, I don't
means that
know,
you can take some
you-
guesses who that might be.
but the governor is probably the person we're after. That's my guess.
And if it's the person we're after, it's someone for sure who knows us.
If he wanted them specifically, it's better
Again-
news
again, we
than
pissed him
they're
off.
going straight to the executioner's block. They probably want information. Also,
Honestly, he could. Honestly, to be fair, they could be executed either way. But they
I have a funny
nothing's
feeling
been
about the
posted.
mines.
The mines. What
I have
about them?
this interesting little trick that I can do.
Mhm.
Sometimes I can attach myself to the dead. Give a
Is
little
that-
bit of information about them from their past lives. Just little flashbacks here and there.
Is that why you were experiencing a headache? Because I genuinely thought that you something might
Oh,
have
that
happened.
wasn't a headache. That was just me playing it.
Okay, good.
If I'm going to have a flashback, I'd rather people think that I'm in pain rather than I'm having a flashback using some unusual magic.
A little bit on the spot and improv, but
That's improv for you. Anyway, the people that were originally working in the mines that was how it was. So the people that were originally working in the mines were kicked out.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
It's like all the people in the taverns are miners, and it's like given the time of year and time of day, they probably should be at work right now.
Those people that were in the tavern, they were, I'm assuming, the original miners. Those mines are being used at the moment, but clearly, that's where the mithril is. Who's working the mines? Warforged? Prisoners.
both.
Or Warforged? Both.
I would say
It is
both is probably
odd.
the best guess.
Well, there's definitely not been notice of like any form of execution. So, if at
Don't have to
least we
pay a
have
prisoner.
time.
I don't know
It's
how
definitely
sadistic
more
they would have
possible.
been, but they would have put on a hell of a show if they did.
For someone, for
Okay.
someone like Akvor, I think they would have probably done a showing.
I think that if they're going to do something like that, it's going to be shown because clearly he's a danger to the free people of Sonaris, whatever, Samaria.
Well, I mean, if the eyes wanted to get involved,
The
Yeah,
eyes are
Thrush.
looking for all of you as well.
exactly, like they would have wanted him dead on the spot.
I don't know what that is.
Imagine, guards,
Heard
but
of the Church of Paris?
they tell you you're evil, and these particular people, not the eyes themselves, but this little tiny group, will kill you on the spot if they think you're bad.
Not sure if these people were working for the little tiny group or if they've been fed information by the little tiny group and are just working on orders. Could just be regular eyes.
Eyes being
They
in the city is
sounded-
already a bit suspicious, as is.
They sounded frustrated. One of them was very conflicted, very frustrated about how things were going. Didn't understand why they couldn't just take them. Like, they're our prisoners, sort of thing. They're just working on orders. The other was probably a little bit more in the know, was more like, this is the governor, you do as you're told. You know, stop arguing it.
The
But-
worst part is that could be usable
This
as
means
either
that
a
they're going to
distraction or maybe even an ally. not ally in the sense of they'll be buddy with us, but more so they might fight for us.
They are throwing a spanner in the works for that, but they are going to be extra on the lookout for the rest of them because they want to take someone back, and they know that you're in the city.
So we, like, points the finger between me and Xavier, we need to be extra careful.
Yes.
Yep.
Which means I'm glad I suggested we do not go out there armored, running around.
Absolutely.
Well, to be fair,
I think
if I'm ever discovered, I think my chances of being alive are extremely slim.
Armored or
Because most
unarmored,
people
the
would want to
answer...
see a dead hobgoblin on spot rather than capture me. It's not
Of
the
course. Of course, armored or unarmored, the answer is yes, but at least unarmored we can get you somewhat stealth.
gotta love a good little bit of casual speciesism, I guess, racism.
Casual?
It's not unfounded, but at the same
Gives you
time,
like
stigmatism I hate.
I remember the days when they used to just hate tieflings.
Oh, joys.
But anyway, this information is at least gives us some hope that Upper and Terra should, at least for now, be okay. There's no calls for executions. There's no, oh, these people are going to be sent to the executioner's block at this time. Come and watch. Bring your
But we s-
popcorn.
But we still don't have any further lead onto where they could be. All we know is that they're not, potentially even, there's not even a confirmation, potentially they're not being set up for that. The government wants them, which probably means that Fano wants them. And if that's the case, I don't know what's going to happen there. The fact that he didn't order for their deaths is a bit outside of what I thought.
I have ideas with the information that we've been given. They're either being held prisoner so they can be questioned as to where the rest of you are.
Alcohol went speed. And I doubt Terra even knows how to... I doubt she'll be the kind of person in interrogations to...
Cooperate.
Yes, that's the word.
That's accurate. And I'm pretty sure Arkva would be much the same in a different kind of way.
Was there any word on me? Whether anyone had a good look at me, saw what I looked like?
Most of the information that's being spread around is a lot of distorted hearsay at this point. People that didn't really see what happened heard from a friend of a friend that this happened. So
I imagine down the rung of guards they might have to take a second look at you.
I did
but-
hear something along the lines of a giant. Was it a beast-sized monster that's?
Oh, the one that lays eggs in people.
Yeah, that was something along the lines of that.
That person looked insane.
What?
Yeah, there was some. For the most part, the information is kind of doing what information does amongst
drabble.
common people.
Which
It's-
at least
it's
is helpful for
becoming-
you.
It's becoming
That will be
just
helpful.
distorted whispers.
Just gives me a way to react if I get questioned. I don't have to jump the gun and bite someone's throat out.
Yeah, probably not ideal. Maybe wait until we're outside the city. I'm sure we can
knows?
find something.
So, what
Maybe
are we
they
doing
can make
then?
a deal with you.
Is there venom in your words? Out of curiosity? Roll inside. Roll inside.
Yeah,
What do you mean by
roll insight.
Are you being an
Ooh.
asshole?
Wow, what a choice of words.
Maybe.
You can take it however you want it.
Hmm.
But you genuinely think you don't get a hint of venom, but he wouldn't consider an idea if it wasn't an idea.
Fair enough.
Just as a point of order for you, Dimmu.
Yeah.
You would know that many like major cities have eyes stationed here, like That's their job, is to be stationed here.
Yeah.
So, like, there's probably a house. Like, there's probably a building dedicated for these eyes.
Eye house.
About those eyes, they could probably just be stationed here. There is probably a designated house for them.
True, but I'm surprised that they're still here, considering that it's on the brink of a war.
War or no war, justice needs to be enforced.
I imagine unless things go very south, they're probably not going to kick the church out. Unless they start creating their own religion.
There's also one more thing worth mentioning as well. Certain stores are being, not taken over, but the stuff inside is being donated.
Ransacked.
No,
Yeah.
donated to the military. The magic shop was completely empty of everything. From armors to
Smithy
what
as
could have
well.
been weapons to...
The free people of Samaria.
Yeah, probably explains, as she holds her arms out, this scenario in this building right here. Donated, we'll call it for now.
Yeah, they did try to warn him to leave. Get your family out. Guess he was too late. Anyway, worked out for me. Some information from it. Okay, so
So
with that
we shouldn't really
information,
expect to try to stock up. We got what we have, and we probably aren't getting any more.
I think we've got the most information that we're going to be able to use for this time. I think that we still wait, get a long rest in, get Inazaz's magic back up, unless you think that you've got the magic now to be able to disguise yourself, keep yourself hidden. I'm not really
have-
sure how your magic works.
My wild shapes. That I have access to now if we want to at least move.
Can they be discreet?
I could be a fly. I
Flies are
could be
discreet.
many things. I could be a mouse and be in someone's pocket. Or depends on, well, anything really.
Options.
How is everyone's magic abilities?
And
Going
I can have
right now.
passed without a trace up whilst transformed.
That's an important one. Xavier, did you use any of your magic stores while you were out?
I did, but I can recover it. During that time they were out, could I have used my harness divine power to get a spell slot back?
You could have done that in the short rest anyway.
Yeah.
Cool.
Could have done it twice, even.
We could head
No, I
out
can only
sooner.
do it once.
Ah, yes. Yep.
We could head out sooner if you feel.
No, you can do it twice. Your second, your seventh.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
I'll gain
If-
one of each.
If you feel that we need to do this right away, or we could wait, rest for the night, start fresh again tomorrow. We don't know whether or not they've got them locked up for questioning. My other thought is the mines, because if they've gotten rid of all of the people, this is a long shot. That's where they might be sending all the prisoners. But would they send important prisoners like Akfa and Terra? I'm sure they have shackles that are able to stop her magic ability.
We could
I mean, it
attempt
would
to
be silly if they
interrogate someone.
didn't.
Wrong one.
They could be attempting to interrogate information out of them, or they could be doing that and also making them work. Because, honestly, it is kind of a form of torture. Forced labor. Mines would be hard work. Hard for Terra. Arkva's stronger, he might be able to handle it more. But after working for 16 hours straight, then, most people's bodies do start to break down.
Is it worth trying to find more leads? Be safe?
Not in this part of town. I think the best we might get is heading up further towards the castle. It's risky. But if that's where they're sending them to the governor, so they clearly sent them to the castle. We at least know where they were. Hopefully they're still there. and we need to find that soul forge, which, if we find the mines, we could find the direct connection. The Mithril's coming out of the mines going to the soul forge, clearly, or at least to the smithies, which is going to the soul forge. That's my guess. It's all connected.
Does Zaz know what Christine specializes in terms of bewitchment? Has he seen that yet?
Actually, that's a good question.
I
I'm
think I
going.
did-
Why I'm asking.
I think I said to you at one point I might need you to charm people.
I have also. I don't think I've shown you specifically or used certain things because the things we fought have not really been humans. But I have also mentioned in the previous conversation, like this session, that like yeah, my proficiencies revolve around like taking control of like the brain, like tapping the head for the brain, like messing with that. So like you could piece stuff together for that
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, no, I think that would be enough. Would it be worth you being able to bring one of the guards here and we conduct our own form of interrogation for more information before we choose to head out or to wait? I don't know how that sits with any of your morals here. He looks around the room. You're all welcome to wait in the other room.
Trust me, if you bring a guard here, I can use that armor. It's a lot better disguise. I can play the part of a guard properly this time.
I think it's not a bad idea. The only problem is the screaming might alert people. Does anyone have any silencing abilities?
That is a
Yeah.
fair point, and I have no follow-up.
I can be
Like she just doesn't care about the like, oh, we're going to torture someone. She's like, whatever.
I don't have anything to silence people, but I know when they're telling the truth. I do have some
Well, I suppose if they scream, it would sort of give away our position, so perhaps it's not the best course of action. Regardless, putting it out there.
I could suggest that they whisper.
Oh, we know. We gag them. One blink for
No,
yes,
no, no.
one blink for no.
I suggest. I could use my suggestion.
Suggestions
will
was
stop.
good.
I mean, if mine doesn't work, then Christine's probably will.
Mine's. I know of the spell. Mine's more of a affliction. It sticks around for a while, making them a thrall almost.
I once suggested a man completely disrobe every article of clothing that he had, including every single piece of jewelry that he had. He had a lot of jewelry. It took him a long time. And then I stabbed him. It was quite fun. Anyway, we could do that.
Stands there listening to the dick measuring contest between the two women.
It is an option. I can always do so. It's just that I've only really got one chance, and I can only
Choices are
hope.
yours.
Also, the problem is we might pick a guard that has no fucking clue what's happening. Because a lot of these guards don't really know.
Anyone who has affiliation with the eyes is out because they're gonna know fuck all.
It's just a thought.
Also, they're probably going to be a little bit more, not
Resilient.
susceptible. Resilient is the word to, that kind of...
Persuasion.
I don't know. It seems to work on some of the eyes that I've met. Just looks at Xavier.
I'm incredibly resistant.
Quite.
Mm-hmm.
You can still just tap me on the shoulder to let me know to try if we need to. It's something that I don't need long to get prepared. I can just summon the energy. Best way to
Okay.
describe it.
Here's the
Question
plan laid out
DMs.
so far.
Real quick. Sorry to interrupt.
Maybe.
So good.
Whilst out in the water recovering Xavier, the dock line of all the houses, did they all seem roughly the same as the one we're in? i.e., abandoned or not like upkept?
There are a few that have people in them, you can tell. You have to actually be able to investigate further, because you guys
Okay.
don't really get to do much. But there were people that seemed to be coming out of the buildings when it was happening.
It's just a group of shops down here in the south where you guys are now, and a line of like warehouses looked devoid of activity. But you guys didn't really go super far north to see if it's the same on the other end.
So here's the plan. Ideas at the moment. We can either leave sooner, or we can wait. I suggest that we head north towards the castle. We lay low, using your wild shape. As Xavier, you wearing these clothes,
Yep.
robes.
Actually,
the armor off.
there's something I'm not 100% sure of myself. Are you able to maintain your spells while in your bestial form?
Yeah.
Good, we can still at least use the pass without a trace.
That's important. Xavier has kind of long hair, doesn't he?
Yep.
So
Long
cloak
hair,
you
long
up.
beard.
keep your head down. Maybe walk with a bit of a limp. Act like an old person.
Old
Is there
man.
any like sticks around here at all?
I mean, you're in a woodworking shop.
Like anything that could be used like a cane? I
You can
that's
find something that would work as a cane.
to just like
hang on,
fix
I might
like-
have something for that.
I don't
Oh.
actually have a
Do I
staff,
need this
sadly.
on my person for this to work?
What's
Yes.
this?
Yes, I do. Okay, never mind. No, you're not getting my quarterstaff of warning.
Okay, I got something better.
Okay.
I gotta touch the sword.
What?
Like always, you have to make a save.
Yeah.
What brings you to do that though?
You cannot touch the sword.
Can't touch the sword.
That we don't want to use
Not
our
even
weapons
with
right now.
not with a plus 1, 2, 3. Not with 17.
No.
Okay.
No.
Never mind.
Weaponry is out the question, otherwise I would have given you a javelin that I've left over there.
I think the stick would do fine. It's got a it's fairly walking stick level. It's maybe not perfect, but could use that.
Anyone has a difficult to conceal weapon that they want to keep, it will, if I am holding it, it will transform into my form with me, so we can use it later if you want to.
I check with my +1 longsword.
Most of mine are fairly well concealed.
We're gonna have to travel lighter as well and leave back everything else we can. At least weaponry that sticks out.
Don't think carrying a bedroll on our backs would be very smart right now.
No.
So we leave these here as our base of operations.
At least hidden in one of these crates or boxes.
She walks over to one of the crates, like looks through the crates to see if like one that's like fairly empty, like just shoves the stuff out of it and just like scratches a small like G into the side of it with her sword.
Yeah, you do it. Doesn't take too much effort at all.
It's got the gatekeeper symbol on it.
Weird name, but alright.
It will make sense in the long run.
It was one of the original people who made that up.
I will still note that I do not care for a name.
Oh, I don't give a shit, but it's useful to find our stuff. Anyway, she starts like putting all her useless things away, like
Easily
like the
replaceable
traveling
stuff.
gear.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah, like
have to leave it
just, like
behind.
most of the stuff we don't need. Not
gonna-
going to leave the magic makeup kit behind. Not going to leave the wand of cleanliness behind because that is they go with me everywhere.
The only things to
all.
note for me is probably my light crossbow and javelin and bedroll, like the big things particularly. Everything else is pretty small.
I might
And the-
leave the
and the
short
rope.
bow behind as
I'm,
well.
I'm
just
actually going to leave the rope as well.
walking around with a short bow probably seems like a bad idea, even though it might be useful in combat. But we don't want to be in combat, so anywho.
Well, if you want, I can hold on to it as I transform. You did say that.
You want to hold a
You-
short bow, a light
Yeah.
crossbow, and some bedrolls?
No, that's fine. Do you know what my
What do you
carry
think you can
capacity
carry?
is? It's pretty big.
You know what?
It's like
Inizaz can carry all my random crap. If he can carry
He is the bag of holding.
Inizaz is the bag of wild shape.
It's annoying that
Just,
Aqua has the bag of holding.
move some stuff in my inventory
Add.
around.
Yeah, we've lost that.
Alright. So you're all giving stuff. We won't have to take it off sheets and everything, but we'll just say
I've just unequipped.
you're
Just to make it easy.
you're just moving stuff to Inazaz's. He, I believe, will first be casting Pass Without Trace and then be turning himself into a mouse. That
Yep.
was
We
the
have to
plan?
decide whether or not
I can
we
hold
wanna
on to
leave.
you.
You haven't-
Sure.
We've got to decide whether or not we want to leave like soon or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have less time. Like, what was it? Afternoon when we went for our walk and we were gone for.
It's like
We've had an
2
hour.
p.m. now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
getting
and when
close to the
the
time for
curfew-
the dog returning.
When's the curfew happen?
At night. From what you gathered when you're going outside, it's just like people need to be in their houses by sundown.
So sundown's probably. I mean, it's winter time at the moment, so I'm assuming that's probably around 6 p.m.
Yeah.
And being close to like the ocean line, it's probably even earlier again.
So we're looking at about 5 p.m. So that doesn't leave us very much time to work with.
But we can at least scout now, and then if we don't
Well,
find
later.
anything, come back, and then we continue with that plan anyway.
It looks like the city has quietened down a bit. There's still a lot of guards around, but they don't seem to be combing through the streets as much. They are looking, but they're not in your face looking. So as long as we all stay nice and discreet, we should be okay. Has Xavier donned the clothes yet?
Yeah, he's been doing that.
How does he look?
Fairly easy.
Is it like, has he covered himself up enough that like you really can't see? Like, because we got like gloves and I'm assuming
I'd say
like
with what you got, like he is mostly covered. Given he's not wearing any armor, it would get rid of his disadvantage for checks. Like,
Oh.
it's one of those cases where unless he draws attention to himself, people probably won't notice that he's not like an old human.
Yeah, so she like walks up to him just to like check to see like, you know. I'm assuming he'd be like standing kind of normal. She'd like walk up to him.
I'd be
Could
standing hunched over,
Yeah, cool.
leaning on this fucking plank.
As
Very
you're-
good.
A little bit too short.
As you're sort of getting prepped, you hear scratches at the door.
Open the door, let him in.
Hold on.
You open the
I
door,
opened the key.
the dog comes in.
Oh, there's nothing. Don't let me open it real quick.
Hey,
Oh my God.
Xavier knows that the dog is
yeah,
coming
yeah.
close.
Yeah, he would have
yeah.
told. He would have told me he's good. He's here.
You
Yeah.
get in your head, you get a detail. It's just like they've swiftly him out in the north at a gatehouse, but thus the scent afterwards.
It was to the north. Lost the scent after. Did you catch anything else while you were up there?
No.
Very good. I'm an old man. You're a seeing eye dog.
Oh no.
Yeah, he said seeing eye, not seeing eyes.
I have one eye. It's a good eye.
Good boy.
You know, it's just you know, disheveled human Odin and his puppy.
Look at him.
You know, fair.
That got me. That got me pretty good. Okay, we have a few hours. We are prepped. We may as well go now.
We may as well go to the north gate as well.
If we feel like we don't have enough time, we head back.
Yep.
Stay low. Act normal. Except for you, Xavier, act old. And, listen, but don't act like you're listening. That's the only advice I can give.
If you can't do that, just communicate and I'll chat with me and I'll keep you busy.
Alright, so where you guys headed? And we'll do your checks after I figure that out.
We'll go towards the north gate, I think.
Yeah, what was it? The Northgate house. Clara said, I'm assuming we didn't hear that, but Xavier relayed it.
Yeah.
Right, so we want Sclera to lead you to where it last tracked to Aqua to.
I think
rough
that's
area,
a bad
yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
I'll have everyone roll stealth checks with +10.
Cool. I think that we should leave this place one by one.
I think me and you at least should go together.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hooray! I suck!
So with a +10 on top of that, so that's like 28.
Yeah, 28, 12, or 21, 16, and 29.
I suck!
Okay.
Yes, you do.
Christ.
And is that who you hitching with? As a little rat boy.
I think Christine should did.
Yeah, I'm
should
taking
take him.
Inez's
Ratazaz?
Ratazaz.
I like that.
Being a rat?
I'm sure I've got
Ratazaz is
some
better.
kind of pocket somewhere. Yeah, I've got a little pouch. You can go.
Worst case scenario, throw me up to the owl and the owl will take me. People will just think it's hungry.
Alright, now we need to plan this so it looks like you're eating me. You're gonna put me in your mouth. Oh no.
Oh no, no.
Guys, this is
Fuck.
bad.
I'm sure you've tried that once and immediately transformed back, killed the owl while doing it. I can see that.
It's eating itself.
It's Ouroboros.
Ouroboros. Alright.
That's the one. Because I
As
definitely know.
as
Yeah, I could
your-
be a lookout.
As your group separately, group of 3 and Xavier, start making your way to where, to the Northgate house, you sort of all, walk. You guys walk first, but then you have to wait a bit for Xavier to go ahead, since Lara's leading the path.
Yeah.
I guess we're just like acting like we're just
Meeting up.
we're walking the old man, the grandfather, into town or whatever.
As
Grandpa.
Grandpapa.
As you sort of walk into this area, in this block of buildings to like the north of where Christine's token is now, as you're like sort of moving past that, there is the large house. There's like a large house in the middle that's probably taking up most of this block. That has the decorations and sigils of the eyes. This seems to be their establishment. As you're walking past,
Nice.
you head to the main road. You see you see this path that leads to a gate that is closed. You see very little people on the street at the moment. You're not looking like you're out of place. It's just like there's very few people on the road at the moment.
Lesser people because it's starting to get
Yeah.
like not the area.
And yeah, as you're walking, you see a gatehouse that's closed.
So that where Clara leads us to.
It'd be this one up here.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the kind of buildings that we're around? Also, I'm going to roll a perception, but this time, probably not so much for listening to conversations, but rather for like, just, yeah, like, the general buildings. Is there anything like abandoned around here, or like, what's the go?
On the
That's a really
opposite
bad
end,
roll.
there seems to be a lot more noise. This seems to be the general crafting district. This is where
Okay.
a lot of the work in trades going on in the city, for the most part. It's sort of the northern half of the dock area is sort of storage and things for the crafting area. You see a few metal workers up. A couple smiths are starting to like finish their final parts for forging. decided to close up their shops in general. There's seems to be a more active presence up here, at least, you can tell.
Okay.
The gatehouse is shot. The castle, roughly where is the castle
South.
again?
Pass
If
out.
you look down at the map, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
South of Heaven. I'm just trying to think.
This makes the most sense, because trying to get even up closer to this area was always blocked off. So it looks like they've reopened it now, but at some point around there, must have just lost sight, or smell, or tracks.
What's the situation with guards as well? Like, is it heavily guarded around the gates?
Mainly on the wall itself. Internally, there's a couple guards, like there were when you assumed when they entered. There's a couple guards on the inside, but it's mainly on the wall itself that it's manned.
We may as well keep most of interaction with them to a minimum.
I feel like other than like, sorry, you go.
I was gonna say, like, I'm probably just gonna make a perception check. Like, I doubt there'll be much that I can probably pick up, but like, my idea is just to like see if there's any like marks or something of like where people would have gone off to, or like stuff, or even survival if I have to, like just from here, like where particularly they might have like wandered off to. Does it seem like things are moving through these gates at all? Like,
I don't think you really need to make a survival for seeing if people things are moving through the gates. Like, the gate is shut.
yeah.
But like there are obviously foot traffic area around here. But at this particular gate, it actually does not look like there any. If you get close enough to have a look there, the gate is like closed. The mud there is like thick and old. It does not look like this gate has been opened in a while.
Okay. Yeah, probably just like trying to use like the stores maybe like the closest to the gate is like a way to have a peek. See that like move skirt like further around like one of the buildings and like into like a little quieter spot, and then yeah, I'll relay that information. Yeah, definitely. I doubt they've gone through the gate itself. It looks like it's barely been moved at all for a long while. So
How much time do we have by this point?
Crossing the whole city, like basically from where you were to here, is a long distance, and you would have had to avoid, like the path you would have taken, wouldn't be the most direct. So out of like the roughly 3 hours you had, you've probably already burned through at least 45 minutes, close to an hour of it.
That's fine.
I think we keep walking for now. She's sort of like playing it up as though like old man needs to get his steps in. But I say we might need to head back for now. Keep listening. Just walk the blocks.
We can take a wide berth back at least to like maybe see if we can catch more guards at certain stations. But
You're saying this deeply under your breath, I'm hoping.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, cool.
I don't want to cast spells because that brings attention. So she's trying to be as quiet. Like she's mostly been hanging like around you, like almost like how we were earlier, like kind of side by side. I will need a moment on the side, but where no one can see that I refreshing what I have. As if we duck into a side alley during our way back, we'll need to recast within the next 15 minutes and allow alter self. I am marking these down, I promise.
Yep. So you guys said you're taking like a circular, basically like an indirect path back.
Yep.
Is this an indirect path north or an indirect path like south?
I feel like we probably want to head back to the hideout now, because there's nothing up here and there's no way we're going to have enough time to get all the way down south to look at stuff and check out the castle.
We could probably make a good like berth though if we've got like, if it took us 45 to get here, kind of taking a little bit of a berth back might take us an hour and a half.
Yeah,
which would
we could
be
probably get back.
just enough. And
I'm assuming you're going like one of these two directions to like loop back towards
south
like, looping
one.
back. Okay, so you're following the southern path to loop back and around. Okay.
Yeah.
If that's
if that's more towards like the actual castle, then yes.
whatever we
which it is.
like have time for, basically. Preferably
ha-
not docks. We've seen a lot of the docks.
If we have to cut it down and by not reaching the castle, that's fine. We'll come back at a different time. But yeah, at least want to try to get close enough to see if like there's any commotion.
It's this lovely orange circle that has appeared on the map.
Well,
That was-
that's the smoke spot that you guys found, like, when you were scouting.
I would kind of like to walk by that, if that's okay. So if we could go like just down that road there, and then like head that southerly way you wanted to go before, just
Sure.
because I am kind of interested in that smoke building.
No, so you head west then.
Yeah,
Just for a
we'll
little
go.
bit, just for that single block, and then the rest of the way we go the way that.
Basically, I think like about like here we'll diverge a bit and
Yeah.
go 7.
Yeah.
East.
As you sort of make your way here, you see that there is very few people other than like guards and warforged in this area. They sort of have this entire block manned.
Do they look like they're about like no people allowed? Like, is it a kind of they're sectioning it off, being like, all right, get out?
It's like other parts of the city there, the guards you've seen have kind of been like, doing their quote guard job, looking around, checking for ne'er-do-wells. These people are more like they are directly on watch, keeping an eye on exactly on what's going around this area heavily.
Okay.
Seeing that, as we're heading up, I'd like to roll perception just on the building itself to see if there's any like if there's a noticeable sort of like any way I can see in, or if there's any like ways that we could get in at some point, or just like
make perception.
yeah,
I want to make a perception check just on the around side itself, see if I can just notice anything that looks out of the normal, like certain kinds of like constructs, like guarding a specific way, or like something that just catches my interest.
Yeah, make a perception as well.
I might add to this. I'm gonna add to this.
So with your 28, you notice that without like going along the building proper, on this western wall, eastern wall is the large double door in the middle. There seems to be a few doors to the north. Oddly, this looks like what was a couple buildings, sort of jankily mismanaged into being connected. There seems to be wooden and metal boards sort of placed in between where small alleyways into a central area would be. It seems to be some sort of like modified large area now at this point. It used to probably be a bunch of several buildings, but now they seem to be all modified into one area. With your
windows that were on the external have been boarded up. Some sections where it's like alleyways have been boarded over. The areas like they've closed up any gaps between the buildings.
I think unless anyone else wants to do anything, I think in seeing that and the like locations of the guard, getting that sort of quick glance at it as we're walking up, being like, oops, I think we might have taken a wrong turn. Don't think we're supposed to be here. Alright, let's turn back.
With your 17, nothing seems super out of the ordinary. There is, again, like most places, more Warforged guards than men.
Yeah.
There's probably there's probably 8, like if there's 10 guards, 2 of them would still be human and the other 8 were Warforged. They're not really positioned in a way to be anything special, but guarding that said like large double door in the middle is like 2 Warforged opposite sides of that as well. Everything else seems to be a very standard, a couple meters apart sort of thing.
Yeah, I'd probably corral us back out of the way, so we're not walking right up near freaking guards and stuff that are clearly not wanting like regular people there.
We're
And,
only
yeah,
Granddad back.
You start like pulling back and leaving the area. As you're starting to leave, those two large double doors actually start to open.
Oh.
They're
And
moving, but still, I want to like sort of have a little look.
it's not hard to see what comes as like the two doors open, like the Warforged that are there, like basically pull the doors open on either side. And out from inside this like large area, this big like double wagon comes out from between the buildings and turns north and starts heading up the road into the north. The wagon, like at a glance, it's like a open top wagon, like the cart basically, completely empty of all, like just there's only the one dude riding it and like the animals pulling it, but it's just heading towards the north gate.
Yep. I think at that I will make a slight like sort of turn to Xavier, realizing that they're gonna like kind of come past us. It's like, oh, are you all right there, Grandpappy? I know we've taken you out for a bit too long, but if you need to rest, it's all right if we just come here. And she just starts to lead you to a side, like where it's like like gently tries to help you. It's like we're sorry, I didn't notice with your leg. Hopefully this just a quick rest and then we'll head straight back, I promise.
Okay, where's Eustace?
I like shuffle the mastiff. It's like Eustace is right here. I bring the mastiff up like closer to you, like almost like a support animal.
Yeah, well, the wagon continues past this like corner you guys are at. It heads north out of sight. You hear it continue trundling north, but it just keeps moving up towards the northern gate, and then eventually leaves your like you can't hear it anymore as it passes and just too far away.
Thank you, dear.
It's all good. I take a quick turn to see Sylvie's sort of like see what she may be like thinking through the face.
He is playing senile well.
Yeah, you are, buddy. Yeah, you are. Does Sylvie seem interested, or what?
Well, the cart's gone now, so I don't know if we can. It's too much. Like, if we went, even like it's an open-topped cart, so even if we tried to like ride that out, we're going to be seen straight away. She's still sort of like playing the part, but I think she'd still be like directing, like that we keep going down the road, gathering more information. Because I have an idea, but I don't know if we can do it of a day.
Alright. Sting will take your lead on that.
Easy. So you guys let the wagon passes, it goes up north out of sight and sound, and then you'll circle back to the south, kind of east-ish, and you loop back around slowly towards the hideout.
Do you want me to keep rolling like perception for the southernly area?
Yeah, if anyone who wants to can make a perception check, yeah.
Because I want to. Oh, that's a really bad roll.
I'm worse. Yay!
Xavier,
Sure.
you're choosing not to roll?
What does your rat eye see, rat?
Are we
My
still
eyes.
out? Because I am a mouse that cannot
Yeah.
be seen.
You're still a mouse, yeah, and you're outside.
Like, poke your head through the bag.
I'll have a little squiz.
What do your red eyes see?
Really, Sylvie, like.
What do your bird eye sees?
I mean, yeah, you could look at the bird's eyes.
Do I need to? Do you want me to?
No, not really.
Okay.
Do it anyway.
As you guys are heading south, you pass through this crafting area. As you get to this part of the city, you realize the buildings are getting like better and better in appearance. Some of them are taller, they look more like townhouses and less like just standard shops. Like the first floor isn't a store, it's actually just more of a house. As the more this probably is the area where the more wealthier denizens might have stayed at one point. But as you move through these streets, you don't really see any of these wealthier denizens. The people, like, they, the aristocrats, the faux nobles or whatever, the people with money tend to stand out because they like to dress well and whatnot. You actually just see a lot of people who look more like the guards, the human guards. Like, they are just regular looking folk, tough, usually. Like, these aren't the foppish aristocrats and nobles who are occupying most of these buildings.
That's not good.
A very weird sight for me. I'm like, noble people not in their noble places? This isn't like home.
Why? This is not a good move.
You do see a lot of people who look like scribes and whatnot. Like, people who would do ledgering jobs, like stuff like that. But again, this is not like the normal place where you would find people like that. Given you are now approaching like the final hour of curfew, this is like a lot of people are leaving. The streets are emptying. You're seeing these scribes like rushing, carrying their supplies as they're probably heading home.
Yeah.
Continuing around, you eventually make your way back to the hideout. But one thing that Xavier and Inez noticed that somehow slips the attention of Christine and Sylvie, the entire time you guys were out, the only people who have weapons and who have armor on, the only people are the guards or the eyes.
Yeah.
As you're out, you do actually spot a couple more groups of eyes who are moving around the city. They don't seem to be concerned by the curfew. Who knows if they're beholden to it? But if they're not wearing eye full plate, like, and the tabard, or they're wearing the guards kind of, mishmash armor and symbols, then they are not armed or armored in any way. Like sometimes you'd see like merchant guards or caravan guards like that. Sometimes you'd see mercenaries. None, not a single person of that
A
around.
short sword at most, usually.
Full control of the little people.
Free the Republic. Yay.
Well, so we're like back at the hideout.
Yep, if you want to sneak your way back in stealthily, you can make stealth checks to do so. Otherwise, you can just walk in as well if you want, however you want to approach it.
Nah, still gonna sneak in. She seems kind of like, I wouldn't say distracted. She's kind of like, strangely like blank at the moment.
Oh no!
He tripped. Oh no.
Alright, yeah, you all do your best to quietly enter this alleyway, either separately or in a group. You probably do one at a time, again, like how you came out in the first place, and slip into the back of the shop. In what relative safety you think you have?
I should be very used to this.
You should be used to this. Your cloak goes flying. No.
And reveals a hobgoblin.
The fun thing is, just because 20s don't mean anything, nat ones also don't mean anything.
Thank goodness.
That would suck if they
Balanced as all things should be.
Yeah, exactly.
10 is a 10.
Perfect 10.
He still trips over the dog, by the way, and releases himself as a hobgoblin. Because
that's
still funny. That's common.
That still happens. Like, just so you know, it's not because of the nat one, it's because I want it to happen.
No.
A little bit slapstick.
You all make your way into the room with various
Finesse?
successes and finesse, yeah.
I'll just consume the last spell slot as well.
That building is interesting.
I don't know what even to make of that.
It looks like it's been newly repurposed. Looks like.
For what though?
Well, there was a cart leaving, and it was empty. It's going out the north gate. The mines are at the north. Maybe they're smelting. Grand scale smelting.
That would make sense for the smoke.
Personally, don't think that that's the Soul Forge, considering it's kind of been newly redone.
Is it possible that they took what was the Soul Forge and moved it?
I have no idea. Honestly, I don't even know what the Soul Forge is. No one really. It's.
I forget. My knowledge is very basic, right? Because I would have.
Yeah.
There would have been like slight history, but that's really it. I would have gotten.
The-
I don't
Yeah,
think
it's one of those things where like you know of it, but there's no real books detailing
Yeah, exactly.
what it really is. It's just a place. It's locked
Yeah.
away. You're not kind of meant to know much more
Yeah.
than that.
the
A
most
place or a thing, like an anvil.
the most like anyone gets out of it is archaeo tech. Like
Yeah.
it precedes known history.
Okay. Cool.
My guess is that it's at least going to be in some way that's well hidden. Probably underground was always my thought. But I'd like to keep watching that area, but that's going to make us stand out.
More.
Getting
More
out
of
the
the.
gates is not going to happen. At least
Well,
not.
the better question is what now?
We
We.
flew over here overnight that time.
We. I don't think night travel is going to be possible without any reasoning. Not again.
You have to get out those gates somehow. Or at least get into the castle if we go high up enough.
I could make people invisible, but it would only be on 2 at most.
We could sit and listen and wait and see if there's any activity happening out here overnight. I don't know how well. When we travelled over before, when we were high up, it was too high up to be able to see like how many Warforged were like marching around the city overnight.
Yeah, like you could see some details on the wall where you knew the walls were manned, but the actual like streets, you couldn't tell what was going on the street level.
How did the like walls look? Was it like every single rooftop had something on it, or was it just in major areas?
Like the walls were manned. Like it's probably a normal city rotation
Yeah.
of guards amount on the walls, but most of them were warforged. Probably maybe around 20 to 40 stationed warforged on the walls, sort of moving in small paths.
So it's the walls specifically.
What you could tell.
Yeah.
What we could tell, yeah. So we don't know what's
Yeah.
happening on it. But like those little guys that were traveling on the roof before were kind of small, so
The little guys on the roof.
they're little spidery things.
No, they weren't spider.
Oh,
They look like warforged. They just got like
Spider legs.
spider legs.
Oh.
Like it split up to have spider legs and jump.
Like a person spider, which is horrible.
Well, it's like
yeah, pretty fucked up, man.
they look like normal Warforged, and then their legs like split into multiple legs because they climb on the walls.
I don't like it.
We could listen out. If there's lots of activity happening overnight, we'll hear it. But if it's quiet, we could always just fly out into the ocean, get up nice and high, and then we can go anywhere we want. The higher we are,
Wait, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm missing something about flying.
well, we went with Inazaz that time. Hang on. No, it was me. Was it me and
Is you Terra and Inazaz, yeah.
And we were in mouse form, weren't we?
Terra was.
Terra was, but I was on top, that's right.
I don't
know.
know. To do that.
And I don't imagine Inazaz would
Would-
be able to. I mean, we could do a long rest and then get it back. Like, if we're
Yeah.
long rested now, we could do it in the early morning. But at the same time, I don't know if he'd be able to carry all of us.
Polymorph,
It
wild
would probably
shape,
be
and
a
then
struggle.
there's... We're still...
Well, I could cast polymorph on someone else. I could become small,
Yeah,
and then that's only 2 people that need to be carried.
I don't know if that's smart.
like.
This is a
polymorph
shit
radio.
show. This is the textbook definition of shit show. That we're trying to
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
the paddle.
I
and it's
feel
not really quite there yet.
I feel like we're getting close to a paddle. Putting ourselves as a flying target in the air as someone being lifted up by a bird's probably not the best solution.
Hey, the
feel
range
like
of
I'm
most
trying-
stuff is what, maybe 200 feet?
I feel like I'm
Oh,
trying
it's a
to
600.
make a great statue out of mashed potato right now. I got nothing. I'm just
I mean-
trying to make something.
So just so the
I
general.
think we try to sneak past the mines, to the mines.
Yeah, but how? The gates are all shut and they're guarded.
Invisibility, polymorph, and wild shape.
The gates are all shut.
When they open up for the carriage to go back,
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
slip through.
Of a day, you're thinking.
But
Yes.
just so I know, the general plan is for you guys to sleep here for the night.
Yes, I think that has
Yeah. Getting through the
Easy.
gates.
I'm gonna swap out invisibility.
better.
For invisibility.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you know what? Swapping out a spell might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, get your polymorph. You can do
Oh,
your whole list.
I've got polymorph, but
Yeah, get your spells for polymorph.
Ugh.
can't do my whole list.
I'm getting invisibility.
I just got
Never leave home without it.
Well, I
can
do.
do
That's the
well.
thing. I'm not gonna need scorching ray. What do I need?
my head
Scorching
couple
ray.
is
for?
reminding me that I got fuck all sleep last night, so I'm starting to fade.
What is
Right.
what's everyone's night? What's everyone's watch time? I assume you're taking
Yeah,
watch.
that is true. We're gonna need a new watch.
What if we just
Uh,
gamble and don't watch?
Sleep.
I will
same.
watch. I will watch Smack Bang in the middle.
Do we all have dark vision?
I'll do the start. Nope.
Yeah.
You don't?
Wait,
Okay.
hang on.
I
No, I
do.
don't have dark. No, I do have dark vision.
We all have
Like,
dark
I actually
vision.
don't have dark vision. Let's go.
I got dark vision and blind sight. Let's go.
So just pick a number.
I have dark vision and a perception of +10. Let's go.
Yeah,
I'll
take
go.
first.
I'll go last and hope that everything's fine.
Okay.
As that puts Dimmy also in the middle. Is it gonna go? Is it gonna go Xavier Sylvie or Sylvie Xavier?
I do not mind.
Give me 2 or 3.
3.
I'll take two.
Alright. So in order to Inazaz, go first. Make your roll.
Perceptions.
We'll just get all
I'm
four
laying
rolls first.
down an alarm.
Okay.
Easy, no problem.
Can I have just my owl help? Is
Yeah,
that
totally.
chill?
Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely.
That's a good
You can
idea.
coach him on on your building, and then have him aid you while you do that. It's all good.
Scorching
So
ray
just
for
roll with
invisibility,
advantage?
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Oh,
Well,
that was
Good
lucky.
thing you
That's
rolled
one of the
advantage.
ones.
Oh, it was the second one.
Was the second,
Either
but
way.
that gets rid of one of them.
Alright. Yeah, you spend the start of the night as this is where sunset's going down. Like, there is still some light on the streets. You watch out, mainly focusing your own vision through that front window that you can see, keeping yourself hidden and letting the owl kind of look around the building where it can. You notice that when 6 o'clock happens, near the end of your watch, you actually do spot something out the front of the shop.
Mhm.
As if you weren't keeping a keen eye, you wouldn't have seen figures dressed in all black moving up the street. They initially it's barely able to see it, as it's basically just it's a silhouette on a night sky. You can barely see anything until you start hearing the sounds of feet on wood.
Yeah.
And looking out the front, you're able to spot just barely the light peeking out from hooded lanterns as groups of guards, like more than a dozen at least around this area, move up the gangways and start to quietly scour the nearby ships.
They're looking at the ships. Okay. Are any of them looking towards the shops?
Not at the moment, none you can see, but you watch as they go from ship to ship as quietly as they can. They swarm over it, going from deck to deck. You see small peaks of light as they're clearly trying to do this as quietly as possible. But after a while, they all pour out of one ship, they move down to the next, they all file onto the second one quietly, move over down. Eventually they go back up the gangplank and then just move slightly further north, and you see them in the distance repeating the same thing, as it looks like they're still looking for people. And the first place they checked is all the abandoned ships.
Yeah, that makes sense. For the rest of my watch, I'm going to keep an eye on them. If they start turning towards the shops, from what I can see, I'm going to wake people up to have a game plan. But
by the end of your watch, they have left your sight as they continued heading north.
Okay.
Like we mentioned, the coastline is chock with ships. There's dozens of vessels here, and it's clearly they're not skinting on these checks. Each ship they check, it's 20 to 30 minutes per ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we didn't hide there.
Yeah. Good thing that was one of the first places I thought to hide. Yeah,
terrified.
Christine's taking over from my watch. She'd just be like, well, they are scouring the ships. She says, I'm assuming you've gotten up, she can hear you sort of moving around. She's kind of peeking out. Oh, no, she doesn't have the door. I'm assuming there's a bit of a window and she can sort of look out of it. She's doing that without turning around. It's just the ships for now, but I don't think this place is going to be safe forever. So let's hope that this is the last time we need to stay here.
Agreed.
For now, if I were to stay up longer, I would miss out on long rest completely, wouldn't I?
Yeah, you'd get exhaustion.
Yeah, I can't do that. We have an alarm set. So if they do try this door, then at least I would keep a very close eye out for now. They've gone out of sight. It's going to take them a long time to head back. They're not skinting on time. They're taking about half an hour each ship. It's going to probably take them more than the night to do. And since they've headed up north, don't think they're going to make it back down here in time. But
Right.
let's just be extra cautious, shall we?
Alright. Nishes gives a nod. Still a bit reserved in the aspect. What's your passive insight out of curiosity?
My passive insight? How do we check that?
10 plus
Just whatever-
insight.
And plus,
Yeah.
Sorry?
10 plus insight.
10 plus insight.
Yeah.
My insight's a plus 10.
Pretty big.
Pretty good. Yeah. Christine's definitely I think something just prove whether it be the situation or just the general nervousness of everything. It's kind of starting to be that she's not panicking, but it's that kind of okay, I need to she's in her head trying to think of not overthinking, but getting to it.
It's not time to stress. Not yet. Everything's okay for the time being, then a not to stress for you. The worst thing that could happen now would be a little arcane explosion on the streets.
Takes a breath. Oh,
It's going to be okay.
I'll try.
Would you like to roll insight? Or is she not giving enough of a shit right now?
I'll still make checks with close to it, proximity in that regard. 15.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a 15. It's different. The conversation with her this time, like, it seems different. Her mannerisms are different than what they used to be before. She was always very charismatic, very, like, there was always that, like, underlying hint of flirtation and, you know, just kind of sassiness that she had before. She's very neutral at the moment, and it almost sometimes, like, when she's not in a situation where it's just when it's just us as a group, it almost seems kind of unnatural. But that's about it.
To take that in. Yeah, it's like you may like turn to go take your rest. It's like I'll try my best. I'll make sure to let you know straight away if something's up or if they come this way.
We only have a little bit left before daybreak. I'm sure once day breaks, we get out of here. We can get on our way. And
Hopefully.
she just like sort of like straightens her bed roll out and just lays down on it. Just kind of turns away.
Christine probably leaves it there, doesn't cry. Like for a moment, like looks to see if like she should, but I think her attention is dragged to the window and to looking out, trying to her best to notice anything coming this direction.
Yeah. And make your roll.
This will be on standby in case I need to press a button.
So you'd be doing your tides.
If it's a 1, I'm doing it.
Oh, good fucking Jesus Christ. We don't need to roll
inspiration
insight.
before you
No.
incite chaos.
I waste my inspiration as soon as I get it.
Honestly, if I didn't have to be well rested, I would have stepped up.
She is on edge, but not at that exploding point. I want to think, but right now she's trying to focus all of her energy, even like her latent potential, into it. I'm gonna say Tides of Chaos.
Oh
Alright.
god. I'm so scared. AJ, Terry. Oh my god.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Can I get a 6 again?
Too much is going on in your mind
Yeah.
as you attempt to like focus down on what's going on in the street, but unfortunately, you try to keep an eye out, try to make sure you're watching carefully, but just every time you try to like focus down, your mind is like pulled away by what's going on, the stress of everything happening now, where like what you're gonna do next, where Akfa and Terra could be, what could be happening to them. There's just too much racing in your mind for you to focus, and before you realize it, your watch comes to an end, and you realize you've barely paid attention to what's been happening outside.
I feel like that moment of like where like the watch is over, it's like that sudden like realization of like just the shock there of like fuck, like quickly just making sure things are okay, and looking back at everyone first and foremost to make sure like even though that she's still somehow here without noticing, like making sure that everyone else is still here.
Yeah,
It's like when you're driving a car and you've gone
Yeah.
through 3 roundabouts and you've just realised you've gone through 3 roundabouts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, as the daybreak fills the room, you see that all of your friends still resting, waiting for your signal to wake up. And I think we'll cut back to our other guys right now. Our little prisoner friends.
In the mine.
On to mine.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been a full day of work. As you're led north of the city, they beat Arkfur. You could still walk, but every breath was painful by the time they were done. They made sure that you were thoroughly bruised, but not broken. They eventually bring you guys back north, tracing the same path you did heading south. All the way, Terra, they take you even past the gatehouse you guys went into to the northernmost gatehouse, where you're led down and then out through the gate. And them, with an escort of Warforged guards, they lead you out of the city to the north.
A few miles of walking, a couple of kilometers even, you find this sort of mini hovel of huts made out of like tents and huts made out of fur linen, sort of sorting the area here. As you are stripped of everything, you are given rags to wear. Hands are still bound while doing so it's a little tricky, but your gear seems to be deposited somewhere else. As you, the chain between your, as you move into the thing, the chains between your arms are released as you're shoved a pickaxe and a shovel. For you, Terra, they sort of, instead of your manacles, they seem to put a necklace on you and then removed the mana dampening manacles, but you still feel the pressure of no connection to the weave present on you.
Yep.
As you are now also given tools to work and shoved into the mines.
Descending into the dark, you first move down several sets of well-worn, well-worked stairs, stone-hewn, and as you go deeper and deeper, you see Warforged guards at most corners. You hear the sounds of picks on stone, of shovels, of carts being pushed, of people exerting, as you see dozens and dozens of people wearing these same rags, working in the dark, where there is barely any light. You're eventually led deeper and deeper down to the area where they want you clearly to work, and they make you. If you try to fight it, you're beaten until you do the work they want or you physically can't move anymore. And after hours upon hours upon hours of this, you're eventually led back up out of the pitch black, the near pitch black of the mines, to the incredibly dark sky when you eventually surface into a large, what looks like a communal area for the other workers, where you were unceremoniously dumped on flea-ridden bedrolls, bare minimum, like, to sleep that isn't just a cold, hard earth. As there are dozens of people here who all seem in various stages of just being physically exerted to the point of collapse.
As you're sitting, the two of you here, just, I really hope this wasn't part of your rescue plan. As you turn to see Episkid Slate.
Yep.
Dressed like you. And that's what we'll call the session.
I missed you, buddy! I missed you, buddy!
Question:
Awesome.
would they still like? Well, how would they react to Terra doing Terra things and like instead of working, she keeps, "Oops, drop my pickaxe," and just does like a shrug and looks and does nothing.
It's like if
Yeah.
you avoid work, you're beaten.
She will consistently continue to do that the entire time, just to force the point of I'm Terra and I'm Chaos.
Okay,
I don't care
Yeah.
if the crap.
fair enough.
I think the tenacity of Terra would be that she'd get beaten and beaten and she'd just keep doing it.
Yeah. Oops,
It's a
dropped
different
it again.
direction,
Guess
Steve.
I'm gonna get punched. Oh no!
Like, slowly getting up from her feet, being like, picking the pickaxe up and then just dropping it again, like, fuck you.
My hands are slippery from this blood.
And I'll say both the two of you gain a level of exhaustion.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is terrible.
Yes.
Terra.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna stop a night of meditation.
No. I mean, yeah. You're just tired. Just very tired.
If
Yeah,
the
this
Minotaur's
exhaustion due to
taught me
physical
anything,
exertion.
It's how to sit.
I'll just give these guys a long rest, then I'll do the stuff for you guys afterwards.
We
But
can
yeah.
Oh man, you guys
Oh.
getting a long rest.
Oh yeah, I'm enjoying the sleep.
Before,
like-
Floor on the ground, you know, blood splatters on it. Oh, so
bef-
good.
before proper, before proper and before I ask people what they're doing and all that, Christine,
Hi.
can you roll on your table, which will be happened later. I don't want you to look up what the number is or the like.
Oh!
Just roll a d100.
And if you want to, you can also do the like expend your sorcery points, but you won't have access to those sorcery points for the rest of the time. So you can.
So if
You
you
can
burn
use a
these, you won't
feature.
have them for the next day.
Huh?
I can still regain my sorcery points as per normal, right? Though.
Like with spell slots and stuff.
Yeah, it's just
Well,
like
you-
I was
you-
saying, you can spend
Okay.
your sorcery
They're just
points
spent
to
as normal.
re-roll.
Okay, yeah.
it's
Yeah, you just
at
won't
the
get them back.
Yeah, at the start of your long rest, you'd have those expired because this is.
Oh, I got 2 spare. Why not?
Yeah, so roll 2 D100.
roll.
Just don't look up what the effect is because
In the tower.
Yeah, sure, roll it into tower.
But you need to know which one you're picking, right?
We can tell her after.
Ah.
We can tell the number. Yeah. Okay. that works.
Oh, that's actually better. Yeah, I like that. Message me the number, and I'll say A or B.
I'm curious as to what the number's going to be.
Swear to God, if you pick it,
42.
No, this is the first time they've actually said roll. We'll do it later.
I really hope you roll Ragnarok.
Oh, I'm really
Oh my god.
I need to check what the list
Yeah.
is myself.
I
Well,
don't
before
remember.
we die in a fiery explosion, I would like to say it's been fun, guys.
Yeah, good game, good game.
It has been
Not
fun.
not looking this up for 2 weeks is gonna be hell. I'm gonna choose
Did you?
A.
Did this happen?
No.
Did this happen because you did Tides of Chaos?
Yeah,
Oh,
100%.
absolutely.
Yes.
I
This
can't
is
believe
this
it.
is so we
Fair.
this is so we don't forget in 2 weeks as well.
It's fine. I haven't used this
I
anymore.
want you in game. I want.
Yeah. Look, you warned me a lot, but you gotta remember Christine's mind's a roller coaster.
Oh man.
Especially
like,
when both fucking Akvo and Terra are captured and away, like fuck.
Oh, come
Mim
on.
kinda said it pretty well.
Christine surely knows they can handle themselves.
Yeah, Mim hit it on the head with that one, specifically for Terra. Like she hit it on the head.
So what else do our streamy boys have anything interesting this week they want to talk about? All the links are down below, obviously.
Not looking that's gonna hurt me.
Maybe this week I stream again. I don't know. I just haven't been feeling it.
Fair enough.
I have been keeping up some decent, consistent Friday streams, but I'm gonna be going on break for about 2 weeks while Jeremy's over here, so I'll be back in like 2 weeks' time.
Fair enough. And you said you might be coming back, Sam, is what you're saying?
I might be back next week. I don't know, honestly.
Guess who's back?
Sam doesn't know when he streams. Sam just simply streams.
Also, okay, I'm deleting those numbers now, so you don't remember.
No, I'm already gonna remember the first one because that's gonna be in my head. The second one I won't remember.
You have 2 weeks though to forget it.
Yeah, I'll have to try.
Yeah, but for me,
I'll log off.
you can see me on Tuesday. I'm playing Echoes of the Forgotten, homebrew D&D. Octopath
Yeah.
Traveler. It's a homebrew fucking made by Japan.
For Japan game.
Homebrew Japan JRPG. I'm playing. Yeah, I'm doing some more quest gathering, going to all the last areas, and then we'll do chapter 4s. So we're nearing the end of the game, I think, but I'm not entirely sure how much longer. Maybe at least a month, I reckon. Wednesday's Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers the Sky. There's open VC for my friends to come and join in. I'm a Pikachu. We're doing Pikachu things, and that involves going on explorations and getting beaten up by a Skuntank. It's lots of fun.
Yeah.
Thursdays you can watch Kay force me to play Kingdom Hearts 358.
Yeah, it's a
for 2
force at
days.
this point. You're enjoying it though now.
We are. We're having our fun memes. Our own canon is overtaking the proper one.
I'm
It's
all
lots of
for it.
fun. It's a good canon.
Damn.
Friday I'll be playing Dishonored 2 for the first time. It's gonna be a good time. And next week is Guardians Rebirth,
Yes.
chapter 24, I think.
Mm.
And in 2 weeks' time, if everything is going well, session 68 of Echoes of the Forgotten.
We're
God.
getting close, guys. We're getting close.
I know what I'm doing on that one special session.
I am terrified.
What if we just skip to 70, Darren? You reckon we should do that?
It's pretty funny, not gonna lie.
No,
would
you
be
no,
pretty
you do
funny.
68.3.
And then and then it's 70, and just skips 69 entirely.
68.9, then it's 70.
68.8, so that they don't even get the satisfaction of having.
Yeah,
the
no,
middle
yeah,
number
you do 68.8 and then you do 70.2. That way it equals out.
What about 356 over 2 days, whatever?
We're already doing
Yeah.
that on Thursdays. Come see us.
come watch the
Or don't.
suffering.
Come join us.
But yeah, thank you all for coming. Hope you had a good night. I know that we did, and we'll talk to you all later. Bye bye.
Bye.